Live on a Wednesday morning, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey. As it's the first of three over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center as the Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. Hopefully you've had some bacon and some eggs and maybe a thing of toast and maybe some orange juice or coffee. And make sure to get ready with us as the Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans this morning. Face-off's going to be in less than 15 minutes from now. And it's really not that unusual for both teams to be on the ice around this time of day. After all, most of the Grizzlies practices are at 10 o'clock and morning skate for a night game is either at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. based on whether you're the home or visiting team. Well, for the Grizzlies, they got a big 3-2 victory last Saturday against the Allen Americans as Grizzlies salvaged the third and final game of the series last week at Maverick Center. Last week, the Allen Americans won by 4-2 scores on both Wednesday and Friday night. Grizzlies got some revenge on Saturday as Colby N scored his first pro goal, 9:34 into the second period. Griffin Ness added a second period goal, and the game was tied in the third period as Reed Lepster got a rebound from a Neil Shea shot, and Lepster scored. Some Allen people think that maybe goaltender interference was there, but there was no contact between Lepster and goaltender Tendek, David Tendek, who's going to be a net for the Americans, and the Grizzlies came out with a 3-2 victory. Utah outshot Allen 42-22. Dylan Wells got the victory in net. He saved 20 of 22. And Neil Shea had 1 assist and led Utah with 8 shots. Luke Manning had 1 assist on 6 shots on goal. And the Grizzlies picked up a big victory, and they certainly needed to as they got their second victory on the Maverick Center ice. Utah's a 500 club this year with a record of 8-8-2, and they've had a lot of success on the road this year. They are 6-3-1 away from Maverick Center, and the Grizzlies on the road have outscored opponents 32-28. The Allen Americans are 3-3-1 at home this season. They're 6-7-3 on the year. They are 1 game below the 500 mark on the season. Goaltending matchup this morning has Kyle Kaiser getting the start in net for Utah, or at least that's what I've been told. Kaiser in 5 games has a 3-1 record with a .945 save percentage. And getting the start in net for the Allen Americans is David Tendek, who was outstanding in last night's game, or on Saturday night, in the most recent game that the Grizzlies have with the Americans. He saved 42 of 45, and he did a good job keeping the Americans in it. So it should be a ton of fun. Looks like there's a decent amount of kids as it's pretty much field trip day over in Allen, Texas, as they get to play a little bit of hooky as the Grizzlies and the Americans play a little bit of hockey this morning over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. I'm hanging out at the Grizz Cave just outside the Grizzlies team store at Maverick Center. And one big note to the Grizzlies lineup, Avery Winslow is expected to be back this morning. Winslow has been out since October 24th with an upper body injury, and it was an illegal hit by Mitch Wall that knocked Winslow out. Wall served a 3-game suspension as a result of the hit, so it's good to have Avery Winslow back in a Grizzlies uniform this morning. When we come back, we'll go over the lineups for both teams. We're in business on a Wednesday morning, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Welcome back to Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. We're going to have some fun this morning as the Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans in the fourth of 6 straight meetings between the clubs. First of 3 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Remember, the Grizzlies will be there on Friday and Saturday nights. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who are led by first-year head coach John Buchanan, and the assistant coaches are Ryan Anderson and Jack Skilley. Utah's got a record of 8-8-2 this season. They are 6-3-1 away from the friendly confines at Maverick Center. Getting the start in net's going to be Kyle Kaiser. This will be his 6th appearance of the year and 5th start. He's got a 3-1 record with 1 shutout, a 1.70 goals against average, and .945 save percentage. Dylan Wells, who got the victory last Saturday, he'll be the backup. Grizzlies get Avery Winslow back in the Grizzlies lineup as Utah is going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Great to have Winslow back. It's his first game since October 24th. Starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies is Colby Enns and Luke Salem. Enns got his first professional goal in the second period last Saturday in the Grizzlies 3-2 victory. Enns and Salem will get the start. We will also see a lot of Sage Weinstein, who's paired up with Christian Felton. Avery Winslow, I mentioned he's back in the Grizzlies lineup for the first time since October 24th. He is paired up with Aiden Hansen-Bukata, who has 9 assists on the season, the lead all Grizzly defenseman. And Kabori Dunn's also going to be in the Grizzlies lineup as Utah's rolling with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Starting forwards for the Grizzlies are going to be Luke Manning, who has 1 goal and 6 assists. He had 6 shots on goal on Saturday night. Neil Shea's got a point in 4 straight games. He's got a point in 8 of his last 9 games. Shea picked up 1 assist and had 8 shots last Saturday. He'll be in the starting lineup, as well as Saturday night's hero Reed Lebster, who has 9 goals and 4 assists, and he's been a clutch performer. He leads Utah with 3 game winners on the year. So his starting forwards again are Manning, Shea, and Lebster. We will also see Christoph Filion lined up with Jack Ricketts and Maxim Barbashev. Stepan Timofeyev is on a line with Griffin Ness and Danny Genev, and the 4th forward line includes John Gillette and Evan Friesen. So that's the lineup for the Grizzlies. Starters for the Allen Americans. David Tendek's going to get the start in net. He'll be wearing number 32. Starting forwards are Thomas Caron with Hank Crone and Michael Gildon, and the defensive pairing to get the starter, Sam Sedley and Andre Anania. Grizzlies are wearing a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. Allen's wearing a white jersey, red numbers, red lettering in the back, and red on the shoulders. We'll come back and have face-off on the other side. You've been tuned into the pregame report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
It's a great morning for hockey as 2 big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans in the first of 3 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It's the 4th straight meeting between the Grizzlies and Americans. These teams will meet 10 times during the regular season. Team leaders from both teams are taking the ceremonial puck drop. Colton Hargrove, the balding captain of the Americans, will take the draw. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists in 14 games. And Neil Shea, it was a point in 8 of his last 9 games with the Utah Grizzlies, are coming off a winning month where they went 5-4-1 in November. And we'll see if the Grizzlies can get off to a quick start here in the first game of the month of December. One thing that we mentioned a couple times during the pregame report, it's great to have Avery Winslow back. He made a strong first impression as a Grizzly. He took an illegal high hit from Mitch Wall on October 24th at the end of a Grizzlies victory. That was a game Utah won 5-0. And Winslow has been out with an upper body injury, but he's back in the Grizzlies lineup. My pick to click is Neil Shea, who's got an A on his sweater. Who's your pick to click? Who do you think is going to be the player of the game? We got one vote for Kyle Kaiser already. It's going to be quick. It's going to be important for both teams to get off to a fast start. For the Grizzlies, they have 10 first-period goals in their last 7 games. Allen has struggled a little bit in first periods this season, although the Americans actually did a pretty good job in first periods at Maverick Center last week, as the Americans outscored the Grizzlies 5-2 in the first periods in the 3-game set at Maverick Center. Grizzlies will start out with a defensive pairing of Enns and Salem and a forward line of Manning, Shea, and Lebster. And Kyle Kaiser will get the start in net, and hopefully we won't see the spinning Allen Americans logo disrupting action, as looks like a lot of kids are in attendance. They are smacking the Thunder sticks, and of course they're the color red, the main color of the Allen Americans. Grizzlies' main colors are black, white, and professional green. Looks like a ton of kids are in attendance. Puck is dropped and we're underway as racing after a loose puck. And this goes on to Kaiser. Luke Salem chasing after. He's out there with Enns. Grizzlies will bank it off the far wing boards. Utah will skate from left to right as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports. And please be patient with me, as unfortunately we are at the mercy of the one camera feed that we get from Allen. As the Americans will brush it in. Enns plays behind his net as we play 25 seconds of this game. Lebster collides with Asachuk. Over in the area is number 91, Michael Gildon, who has 6 goals this season. Utah over the offensive line. Shea right wing, lefty shot. Saved by Tendek. And he holds on as Neil Shea gets Utah's first shot. And it comes 37 seconds in, as the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. So a good first forward shift for Shea, Manning, and Lebster. And that was the forward line that got Utah's game-winning goal with less than a minute and a half left in regulation. Last Saturday, the Grizzlies won 3-2. Danny Genev, actually Jack Ricketts will take the draw. He's out there with Maxime Barbashev and Christoph Filion. Utah wins the faceoff. Filion will throw it towards the right point, and he gets his own pass, drops for Barbashev, who battles with Hargrove. As Filion wearing number 25, he's got good speed. Puck goes into the right corner and deep into the Allen zone. As chasing after and getting it is Jackson Decker, who has 1 assist in 12 games, 1 of 6 defensemen for Steve Martinson this morning. As the Americans throw it across the left wing for Decker. Decker crosses center ice. He'll fire on to Kaiser, gloves it and drops it to keep the play alive. Barbashev gets the puck and he'll sprint it towards his left. Grizzlies cross center ice. Ricketts has the puck. He's got a point in 4 straight. Skates towards the left side. Lefty shot. Saved by Tendek. Rebound goes towards Warma's stick, and he'll clear it off the near wing boards, and Allen will fly it out to center ice. Weinstein drives it back in. It's his first shift of the game. Weinstein's a +3 in his last 6 games. Manning continues his battle with an American along the boards. It's Manning's second shift of the game. He's got an A on his sweater. He's out there with Gillette and Freese, as Utah's got an odd number of forwards. Manning gets at the right goal line as the Grizzlies won a 50-50 puck. As Manning loses it, now Gillette lefty shot, and that one's blocked away by Tendek as Gillette fired from the right wing. Great to have Avery Winslow back out there for Utah as the Grizzlies banking off the boards. Freese and centers it to Gillette. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Tendek, and he holds on as Gillette tried to go low. Grizzlies already with a few shots on David Tendek, as after the whistle, looked like Gillette got hit up high by number 25, and we're not sure who number 25 is. Apparently, he just signed with the Americans earlier today, and unfortunately, he's not in my roster sheet. Grizzlies had 45 shots last Saturday. Allen allows 36.9 shots, so it's not unusual for the Americans to allow as many shots as they have. David Tendek played an outstanding game in net for Allen last Saturday to keep the Americans in it. Allen wins the draw, and they'll flip it out towards center ice, and it looks like it goes out of play, as it was tipped off the glass as referee Tyler Spott, and so no penalty for delay of game, as the draw's going to be back in the American zone. 18:02 is the time remaining first period. It's just the start of things, so grab some eggs and bacon and maybe a bit of toast and some orange juice as well, and join us for this Wednesday morning journey. Morning with the Grizzlies. Only time the Grizzlies will have a morning game this season that I can recall. Left wing, shot, kick saved by Tendek. Now the Grizzlies sweeping out in front. Timofeyev trying to get in front towards Genev. Puck goes back towards left point as Allen plays it with a high stick. 17:51's left in the first, and the draw is going to stay in the American zone. Grizzlies have had plenty of offensive zone time here early on. Timofeyev out there with Ness and Genev. It's not a Saturday night, but Griffin Ness has been outstanding in Saturdays. He's got 3 goals in his last 2 Saturdays. Ness scored a second period goal on Saturday night. He's got 4 goals and 5 assists in 18 games. Second-year pro, but this time the draw is won by the Americans as Allen will move it out towards their left. The pass was overled for an American, and it goes all the way down for an icing as they try to get to Troy Murray down in the left wing. Murray, normally a defenseman, acting as a forward, so Allen's called for icing. And the Grizzlies will have some more offensive zone time as there's 17:43 left in the first. Christian Felton out there with Sage Weinstein. Felton got in a fight last week with Troy Murray. Felton has 2 goals and 3 assists in 18 games. It's the Grizzlies' 19th game, and Felton's been in all of them. Webster gets the puck. He'll throw up around Allen's net. Manning dancing around as he reverses his field. Wraparound shot saved by Tendek. Boy, Manning's an outstanding skater, and you can see him getting better year in and year out. Manning wraparound his shot, and that one goes a little bit wide towards the near side. Felton danced around on the right point. He fires towards the net. Kick saved by Tendek off his left pad. Now Felton gets it back, and he'll slide it towards the right circle, and Allen's stick gets in the way, and the Americans will clear it all the way out. Long-range feed connects. Great poke check by the Grizzlies' Sage Weinstein. He keeps building confidence game in and game out. Rink-wide feed angle left as Shea skates towards the left goal line, trying to feed it out in front. Nobody was home. The Americans, Brad Morrison, will race out towards center ice. Rink-wide feed angle right, goes between the legs of Murray. Luke Salem gets pushed in the back by Murray as Salem gets it towards Kabori Dunn in his first shift of the game. Dunn, number 44. Last year, he was number 28 for the Grizzlies. Utah will dump it in as Hank Crone, the 2022-23 league MVP, moves it towards his right. The Americans dump it in, but icing is called, says both linesmen. Michael Miggins and Duncan McGarrett are the linesmen this morning as the draw is going to come back towards David Tendek. Utah already with a big shot advantage, and the Grizzlies have been the aggressor here early on. Allen scored first on Saturday night. Grizzlies have scored first in about half their games. We mentioned it's game 19 of 72 here in the Grizzlies' final hunt. And Allen, they had a strong advantage in the first period last week at Maverick Center, outscoring the Grizzlies 5-2 in first periods. Utah's 5-3-1 when scoring first, so they've scored first in exactly 9 of 18 games. Allen has the puck in the offensive zone, racing towards the right wing. Lefty shot goes wide as they try to go stick side past Kaiser. And now arm is raised by the referee, and there's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a trip. Who's it on? I think it might be a Utah penalty. Is skating towards the box is Maxim Barbashev. Barbashev gets 2 minutes for tripping, and the Americans go on the power plays. There's 16:21 left in the first period. Utah's penalty kill this year is 78.9%. Allen's power play is 15.5%. The Americans did have success on the power play last week as they scored 2 power play goals in 3 games. Grizzlies penalty kill was 6 for 8 last week. Allen wins the draw. Hank Crone dancing around. Now he feeds up top. Sedley moves to the right side. Lefty shot, and that one's blocked away. And the Grizzlies clear it out. Sedley will race back deep into the American zone as Tendek plays behind his net. Tendek, earlier this season, played with the Florida Everblades, also has plenty of experience with Rapid City. Grizzlies faced him quite a bit when he was with the Rush. Crossing center ice and dumping it in is Thomas Caron. He'll skeet towards the right corner and dump it in. Ends over with Ness. Puck goes up top. The Americans over towards Crone in the left circle. Crone fires the lefty shot, saved by Kaiser. Puck still alive. Asachuk will bank it off the near board. Sedley over to Asachuk behind Utah's net. Asachuk surveys. Now he gets to Crone, who feeds up top to Sedley. Over to the right side. Allen gets to the middle of the ice looking for Crone. Glanced up his stick. Salem tries to box out Asachuk. Ends over in the corner as well. Allen throws it up top. They keep it in the zone. Crone dancing around. He's a pretty good skater. We're halfway through Allen's power play. No score, 4.5 minutes in. Crone slides one up top. And Sedley moves it towards Crone. One-timer, and that one's blocked away. Sedley gets it in the left point. Allen's had plenty of offensive zone time here on their power play. Across to Crone, left wing, just outside the circle. Lefty shot, and that goes wide. He was looking for Asachuk to redirect it. Sedley fires it off a Grizzly stick. Keeping it in's Crone. Now he'll slide it towards the near goal line. Shot, kick saved by Kaiser. And the Grizzlies goaltender holds on. Boy, Crone got the puck in front of the crease towards Asachuk. Asachuk tried to slide towards his left and fire it past Kaiser's right ankle, but Kaiser pretty much doing the splits in the crease, was able to cut it off and hold on as there's 35 seconds left in Allen's power play and 14:55 left in the first. Well, there's a lot of people, if they tried to do what Kaiser just did, they would be out of commission for a good 2 or 3 months. He is about as flexible as it gets. So faceoff's going to be over in the left circle. And the Americans win the draw. This is about the first extended offensive zone time the Americans have had today. Utah's had the puck in the offensive zone. They had it pretty much for the first 4 minutes. Warmoth over towards Anania. Move it to the right side. Lefty shot, and that goes high. As Anania towards the left side, trying to get up top to Warmoth, but he was skating back towards the near point as the puck slides back into the American zone. Warmoth, it gets challenged by a Grizzly. Lebster's on the ice. He's got both the Utah shorthanded goals. Lebster righty shot, saved by Tendek. Lebster trying to get the rebound, and he got taken away by Anania. Barbashev's coming out of the box, and Utah's 1 for 1 on the penalty kill and 7 for 9 in this extended series against the Americans. This is the 4th of 6 straight between the clubs. The Americans drive it deep into the Grizzlies zone. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Anania, left wing. He'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. He was looking for Hargrove to redirect it. Hargrove gets the puck. He's the Allen captain. Up top to Anania. Left side. He feathers one across, and it goes wide. Lebster gets the puck, and he'll add to it off the far wing boards. Puck's brushed at center ice and taken by the Americans. Warmoth, who was impressive last week at Maverick Center, dumps it to the left corner as Danny Caddick in his second game back from a stint in the AHL. He'll have a glance off his stick. Grizzlies grace across center ice. Timofeyev left wing gets around one American. He loses control of the puck as it goes towards the backboards. Timofeyev gets it back. He moves it up top. As Salem, right side, lefty shot, saved by Tendek. And he holds on as Salem tried to fire it over Tendek's left shoulder, which is his stick side. His glove side is his right. 13:34 is left in the first period. Grizzlies have a little bit of a shot advantage. No score. Utah will have an offensive zone draw when we come back. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
All the kids in attendance are having a good time. It looks like based on the dance they're doing, they've got the chicken dance working over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Utah is out shooting Allen 8-3. No Grizzly has more than one shot, and no American has more than one shot. The Americans have a shot from Asachuk, Crone, and Gildon. David Tendek was outstanding last Saturday, saving 42 of 45, and Tendek's off to a quick start for the Americans. Allen wins the draw. They skate from right to left. Grizzlies deliver a hit at center ice. The Americans race in as they skate around Winslow. Backhand shot saved by Kaiser. As the Americans back towards the left side, they get it up top. And we got to figure out who number 25 is for the Americans. He's not listed on my roster sheet as Salem gets hit. Allen tried to center it, and a shot is blocked away as that might have hit the side of the net, and that's the unidentified number 27. We got to get a name for you on who this guy is if he's going to get good minutes. Barbashev will slide it to the middle of the ice. Grizzlies cross center as Utah races over the offense line. I think that's Avery Winslow in his first game back. Barbashev backhand shot out and cross as nobody was home in front of the crease. As Ricketts gets spun around, he's got 7 points in his last 4 games. Hargrove tries to drop it in as he'll bounce off a Winslow's stick. Grizzlies will reshuffle the deck and get a fresh set of forwards. As Utah down to the near side, they're back deep in their own zone. Grizzlies race from left to right. Felton gets to neutralize, cross to the center red, veers off to the left, steps over the offensive line. He'll throw it off the left wing boards. Grizzlies fire lefty shot, saved by Tendek as he bounced it off his blocker. Americans clear it back towards the Utah line. Weinstein gets the puck, the 20-year-old who played with the Spokane Chiefs in the WHL. Felton moves it ahead. It goes past the Grizzly. Allen will sky it out to neutralize. Americans down the middle of the ice. Karan drops it as Gildon. He'll take a left wing lefty shot. Glove saved by Kaiser as he slid towards his left. He makes a stop with 12:08 left in the first. So faceoff's going to be back in the Grizzlies zone. We mentioned it over and over again. It's great to have Avery Winslow back in the Grizzlies lineup. He's certainly made a strong impression for the Grizzlies early in the season. He played in 31 games and had 8 assists last year for Orlando. Ness will take the draw. It's won by the Grizzlies. They went 5-4-1 in November, did Utah. It was a winning month. Grizzlies slided out towards center ice. Genev's on the ice. He led the Grizzlies in many categories in November. Grizzlies towards the left corner as Friesen gets cut off. Geneve gets cut off by an American. Utah gets the puck. Timo Fair fires to the left corner. Nobody was home there. Geneve gets the puck off the boards. He danced around from side to side. Over to Timo Fair behind Allen's net. He'll skate towards the left goal line. Try to sweep one out in front towards Ness. Ness got the puck and he bounced it off of Anania. The Americans will clear it out. As they make a full line change, Enns will stride and get the puck, and he'll slice it ahead towards the right wing. As the Grizzly gets cut off towards the right side, Geneve continues his battle. He's surrounded by 3 Americans. Allen took the puck away from him. As they get it towards Danny Caddick, he slides it towards Braden Watts, who dumps it off of Hargrove's stick. Hargrove drags down a Grizzly. Hargrove strong with the puck, former Boston Bruins draft pick. Up top, lefty shot. That one's blocked away. That was taken by Jackson Decker, number 21. Caddick gets pushed to the boards by a Grizzly. As Utah slides it ahead, it goes to neutralize. Allen back in control. Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Hargrove in the left wing skates in as he gets it taken away by Manning. And it's pushed by Warmoth deep in the Grizzlies zone behind Kaiser's net. Now Utah comes up with it as Manning gets towards the right side for Lepster across the center ice. Lepster tries to get around an American. He gets held up by Warmoth as Lepster throws it behind Allen's net. Now Lepster gets it back. He'll pitch to the right wing for Felton. As Felton over in the circle will skate back towards the right point. Now he veers off to the left. Felton in the high slot. Now down the middle of the ice. Manning lefty shot saved by Tendek as the Americans clear it up and not out. Felton right side. Righty shot saved by Tendek. He holds on as he crouched down in the butterflies. He stops play with 10:23 left in the first. So it'll be an offensive zone draw for Utah. They have fired early and often on David Tendek, and it seems like Allen's okay with it. Some goaltenders, they seem to be better with the more work they get, and Tendek certainly has to be. 9 minutes and 37 seconds into this game, Grizzlies already have 10 shots. Allen has 5. Luke Manning and Christian Felton each lead Utah with 2 each. That's redundant, isn't it? They each lead Utah with 2 each. That's right. My English teacher would be proud. Allen wins the draw. They're deep in their own zone as the Grizzlies have had plenty of offensive zone time here so far. The Americans out towards the Utah line. Actually, my English teacher wouldn't even remember me. As the puck's deep in the Allen zone, we're having some fun on a Wednesday morning as the Americans get it towards the near side as they battle with Felton. Now a turnover. Ricketts left side. Shot to score! Allen turned the puck over, and Jack Ricketts gets his 8th of the year, and Utah takes a 1-0 lead. Boy, the Americans got a little bit sloppy in their own zone, and Jack Ricketts made him pay. Ricketts leads Utah with 15 points on the year, and he now has a goal in back-to-back games. As Jack actually, Ricketts scored last Friday, and Allen, well, he's been unbelievable. His point-scoring streak extends to 5 straight, and Jack Ricketts gets Utah on the board. He was outstanding in November, and he continues that pace here so far. Ricketts had 4 goals in November, and he led Utah with 10 points. He starts December in style. Unfortunately, we didn't get a replay of the Ricketts goal to describe it in further detail. As play continues, Utah with some more offensive zone time. Now the Americans clear it out. Racing after and getting the puck, I believe, is AHB. Aiden Hansen-Mukata cross to ends. Ed to Lepster off his stick. Racing after a loose puck is John Gillette, the first-year pro out of Holy Cross. He gets it brushed away as the Americans will sky it out to center ice. It glanced off of Enns' glove, and he'll retreat after a loose puck. Enns gets and he gets thrown to the boards. Friesen with it, and he'll tap it off the wall as the Grizzlies chip it out to center ice looking for Lepster. Lepster one-hands it, and he bounced off of Anania's stick. Anania will get it ahead, but he turns it over as Lepster bounces one across as the Grizzlies have the puck, and they swing around the boards. Puck towards the right wing. Lepster gets it. As he tries to split a double team, puck slides off his stick, and the Americans come back the other way. Gildon cross the center ice. No saucer it in and chase after it. Winslow accelerates after he gets the puck. Avery Winslow's got good speed. He crosses center ice wearing number 8. Crosses the center red line, and he chips it all the way airborne as Tendek gloves it about chest high. And he holds on. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw 8:48's the time remaining in the first period. Timeout. Jack Ricketts scored to give Utah a 1-0 lead. Maxime Barbashev picked up an assist. Time of goal, 9:59 in. It's Utah 1, Allen 0. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network. It's no surprise that's Jack Ricketts getting Utah on the board. He led the Grizzlies with 10 points and 4 goals in the month of November. He had 7 points in his last 4 games coming into play this morning. Utah 1, Allen 0. More hockey in a moment. Grizzlies lead 1-0 as Jack Ricketts scored 9:59 in, with Maxime Barbashev getting his second assist as a Grizzly. Utah's outshot Allen 13-6. Manning, Shea, Ricketts, and Felton each lead the way with 2. For the Americans, Michael Gildon has 2 shots. Kids having a good time over, well, they're just about at every section, as they do the Michael Jordan shrug thing from the 1992 NBA Finals. That's exactly what that's from. That means, I'm old, and so that's the only thing I think about when I think about that little shrug thing with both hands. As the Grizzlies back towards the far corner, as Allen takes control of the puck. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Allen's got a 3-on-2. Americans race over the offensive line. They move it towards the left circle. Crone with a lefty shot, and he hits the side of the net. Salem gets hit in the back by Gildon. They collide. Now centering pass, Crone, shot and a score. Hank Crone gets his 4th of the year, and the Americans tied up with 8:25 left in the first. As the lights go out at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, and the kids go crazy as Hank Crone just slid towards the crease, and the Americans fed him a centering pass. Might have been Crone that got him the pass, and so we're tied at 1 with 8:25 left in the first. So Crone sits on the bench as he high-fives with Hank Crone. Michael Gildon's probably going to get a point as well, as he was on the ice. At the very least, all 3 of them get pluses. So Draw's going to be at center ice. 8:22 is the time remaining. First period, we're tied at 1. Americans drive it in. Well, they didn't show a replay of the Grizzlies' goal, so I guess it's only fair they don't show a replay of the Americans' goal as well. As Luke Manning gets the puck, and he'll sky it towards center ice. Shea tries to brush it ahead, swung and missed the first time, and then he one-hands it deep into the American zone. Danny Caddick, who had a pretty good year with Norfolk a couple years ago, had a good series against the Grizzlies at Maverick Center during the 2023-24 season. Caddick rolls along the boards to the right side, which is the far side as we see it. Now Caddick gets the puck back. He bounces his backside off of Manning. Puck to the right side. Manning over there with Colbien's. Puck slides in front of Kaiser's net, and it's taken by Reed Lebster. Lebster has 3 game-winning goals this season. He'll pitch it ahead. He had 4 goals in the month of November. He dumps it in, but couldn't connect with Neil Shea, so icing's on Utah with 7:37 left in the first. I mentioned the Grizzlies in their winning month, 5-4-1 in November. Reed Lebster and Jack Ricketts each led Utah with 4 goals. Janie Deniev led Utah with 7 assists. Ricketts led with 10 points. Genev led with 39 shots on goal, and the best plus-minuses for the Grizzlies in November was Genev and Colbien's. They reach a +3. Neil Shea had a point in 5 of 6 games in November. He had a 2-week stint in the American Hockey League with the Colorado Eagles. There are 11 players that appeared in all 10 games for the Grizzlies in the month. Allen wins the draw, left side, Asachuk one-timer goes wide as he had a pretty good look from the left circle. So we're skating 5-on-5. Allen's got a little bit of offensive zone time as Asachuk throws it behind Utah's net. Americans get it back up top. Anania moves to his right, and somebody off the screen fires towards the net, and it's blocked in front of Kaiser as the Grizzlies start their attack. They show Hank Crone the goal scorer as the Grizzlies enter the offensive zone. And, yeah, there's Crone. He's talking it up with Thomas Cron. And so we are missing 10 seconds worth of game action as they show the Allen Americans bench. What a joke. Felton right side fires towards the Allen backboards as the puck goes back towards the Americans. As Grizzlies have it over in the far corner offensive zone, they get it back towards Felton. Right side, shot saved by Tendek as Ricketts hacks away. Now behind Allen's net, Utah trying to get it towards Shea, glanced off the stick. Up top, Weinstein, left point. He fires towards the net, and that misses wide. As Ricketts back towards the right side, gets spun around by Antonia. Now the puck slides towards the near wing boards. The Americans will fly it out to Grizzlies ice. Felton gets the puck, banking off the near boards. Grizzlies cross center. Utah dances around as Ricketts, Utah's lone goal scorer so far, throws it across. Barbashev chases after he had the assist on the Ricketts goal. Puck goes back towards the right wing. It goes past Ricketts as the Americans, Hank Crone, over the offensive line, stops in the left point. Crone will backhand it to Watts. He's over in the left corner as Watts and a Grizzly push each other, and that's Kabori Dunn, number 44. Now left side, Crone shot, now goes over the crossbar. Kaiser might have gotten a piece of it with his blocker. As back in deep, Gildon skates along the right goal line, skates in on Kaiser's shot, and that one's blocked away. Referee puts both arms in the air as we're still tied at 1. 5:49 left in the first period. So it's going to be a draw in the Grizzlies zone. Is there a timeout? Looks like Allen's picked up a penalty. No, we're not really sure. Timeout, 5:59 left in the first. We're tied at 1. As Hank Crone tied it up, he got his 4th of the year. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
Are tied at 1 with 5:49 left in the first period. Certainly an early start for both clubs, but they're both used to being on the ice about this time of day. If you think about it, the Grizzlies normally practice at 10 a.m., so they're normally on the ice at this time. Of course, it's 9:59. That's the time in the Mountain Time Zone, and it's 10:57 over in Allen, Texas. So the Grizzlies are used to being out there, and the Americans are also used to being out there. If it's a game day, both teams have morning skate around this time, so it's not like players aren't used to having their uniform and gear on at this time of day, but it's certainly a little bit accelerated. It's kind of a little bit more of an intense morning skate, if you will, for both clubs. Grizzlies win the draw. They'll bank it off the near boards. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see the game from Flow Sports as Barbashev throws to the right side. Now the Americans clear it back to center ice. It's batted by Ricketts, the lone goal scorer for Utah. He scored 9:59 in. Hank Crone tied it up for Allen, 11:35 in. Puck slides back towards center ice. AHB will loft it back in. He's out there with Colby Enns as the Americans back deep in their own zone as Jackson Decker gets the puck, and we got to figure out who number 25 is for the Americans. He's out there, his last name. Actually, he's not even on the lineup sheet. It might be Trevor Ledon wearing a different jersey number, as he's normally number 14. Allen ices the puck, and so the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. 5:07 left in the first period. It's often interesting to see the shot count during a Grizzlies-Americans game. Allen takes 29.6 shots per game. That's in the middle of the pack of the league, but they allow 36.9. Remember, the Grizzlies outshot the Americans 45-22 on Saturday night, and really the thing that kept the Americans in was a great performance from David Tendek. So it looks like something happened on the faceoff as Gildon starts to argue along with Wormuth and Crone. And now we're not really sure what happened. Unfortunately, we weren't seeing as well. Kids are having a good time. Looks like kids of just about all ages over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Allen High School is pretty close to the arena there. Allen High School is a football stadium that costs about $70 million to build. Grizzlies win the draw. They fire one wide. Kabori Dunn towards the right corner. Dance around. He gets it back to the right goal line. Now Dunn gets it back. He's out there. Gillette gets it from Dunn. Now behind the net. Manning spins along the right wing boards. The Americans' Michael Gildon gets it, and he will sky it out to center ice. Puck wobbles. Kaiser comes out of his crease, and he outlets it to center ice. Pass off the boards towards Manning as Grizzlies will reset up. Manning, a good skater, fakes behind him to Dunn. Now he crosses center ice. Manning down the middle, tries to split a quadruple team. He gets a good push from an American, and that's number 6, Braden Simmons-Fisher, the big 6'7" defenseman, the son of Yuri Fisher. Puck goes back towards the near side as Felton over in the corner. I look to center it. Simmons-Fisher got a stick in the way. As the Grizzlies back towards the right point, it's cycled around. Simmons-Fisher hustling after it. Manning gets there about a stride ahead of him. Now left corner, Friesen dance around. He gets pushed by Braden Watts, last year's Allen point leader of 53. As the Grizzlies get it up top, Weinstein lefty shot, and that's blocked away by Tendek. Americans long outlet pass from blue line to blue line, glances off a stick, and backhanding it in is Harrison Blaisdell, who had 2 goals last Friday against the Grizzlies. As we believe that's Trevor Ladon wearing number 25. As he's just a recent addition to the club. I'm not sure if these are specialty jerseys or not. Griffin Ness has the puck. He dances around. He backhands it across. Genev gets it in the right wing. He races over the offensive line, skates towards the right circle. Look to center it. And the centering pass glanced off a stick and goes wide as Watts across the center ice. He'll drop it for Morrison. Morrison on side, gets around Felton, skates towards the left corner. Morrison skating from side to side. He gets belted in the back by Ness. Now Allen pitches it out in front. AHB will bat it up top to the left point. Anania keeps it in. Watts to Anania, who tried to center it, and it glanced off a Grizzly. Puck towards the left corner. Ends boxes out Watts. Ends chips it ahead about 10 feet to Timofeyev, and he'll bank it off the glass. Puck ricochets towards the Allen line. Genev tried to get it, but taking it away is Sam Sedley, who's got 9 assists in 16 games. Sedley, right wing, dances around. He's in the right point. Less than 3 minutes left in the first period. Sedley rolls it back as an American gets hit by Colby Enns. I believe that's Colby McCauley, who's given the Grizzlies fits over the years. McCauley wearing number 92 for the Americans. Anania skates in from the left side, gets to Hargrove. Left goal line. He tried to start to Caddick, and the Grizzlies get a stick in the way. Now Caddick skates towards the left corner. He'll spin it around to the right point. Anania slides one out in front. It's taken away by Utah. Grizzlies outlet it to center ice. Now they move it to their right. Shea, just outside the right circle, waits for everybody else to enter. He'll feed it to the middle of the ice. Manning with a lefty shot that's blocked. Now right wing, shot towards Tendek, and that's gloved as Tendek holds on with 2:23 left in the first, and the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. Scratches for this morning's game are defensemen Noah Gansky, Connor Kelly. Both guys, I'm not sure about the timeline, but they might be out for a while. Utah's also without Rylan Kovacevic, as well as Adam Berg, and the captain, Tyler Gratton, and Ty Voigt are out. Like Gratton's out for the 3rd straight game. He was a teammate with the Reading Royals with Allen defenseman Sam Sedley. So Grizzlies are without the captain, Tyler Gratton, who was outstanding in the month of November. He had 8 points in 8 games in November, and he had a point in 6 of 8 games in the month, including a point in each of the first 6 games. Utah over the offensive line as Luke Salem shields Decker from the puck. Now Salem gets knocked down by Hargrove. Now Salem loses his stick, no call, as Hargrove races across center ice. Salem will either get a stick or he'll come off the ice. Winslow collides with Hargrove, and we mentioned it quite a few times in the pregame report. We're happy to have Avery Winslow back as he's playing for the first time since October 24th. Chrome over the offensive line. Chrome was slow to start this season, but he can score in bunches. As the Americans back behind Utah's net, puck slides towards the left corner, which is the near side. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. A minute 25 on a moving clock first period. We're tied at 1. Weinstein outlets it up, but not out, as the Americans somehow kept it in. Now left wing all alone, dancing around. Gildon shot, saved by Kaiser. Boy, Kaiser did a good job as Gildon tried to put a move on him. Grizzlies out to center ice. Fillion with good speed, skates towards the left circle, take a lefty shot, and it's blocked off Tendek's left shoulder as the Americans throw it up but not out left wing. Grizzlies tried to center it, but on a back check, Allen took it away. Less than a minute left in the first period. Chrome gets around center ice, and he'll slice one. He'll dump it in diagonally towards the right corner. AHB runs it down. Allen makes a line change. Grizzlies will switch up forwards off the screen. AHB will drop it off. Utah's not had a power play yet tonight. And by tonight, I mean 10 a.m. here in the Mountain Time Zone. As Anania gets the puck, and he'll slide it towards the far side. Now the Grizzlies, John Gillette fires towards the net, and that one's gloved by Tendek. He holds on with 32 seconds left in the first. So at least 16 shots for the Grizzlies so far. We'll obviously go over all the scoring during the first intermission. According to the ECHL box score, the Grizzlies are up to 17 shots, and Allen has taken 9. Luke Manning and Christian Felton each lead Utah with 3 shots each. So faceoff's going to be over in the left circle. Evan Friesen will take it. He looks over both shoulders. Shea on the ice as well as Utah wins the draw. And Allen immediately took it away. Is trying to skate up ice with Sage Weinstein. As Weinstein delivers a hit around center ice. Gillette gets to Shea. Less than 20 seconds left in the period. Allen will bank it off the far boards, and they get it across. As Watts will slide it towards the near side. Now Utah gets back to the Allen line. 5 seconds left in the period. Puck bounces after it flew in the air about 3 seconds. And that will do it for 20 minutes over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. As Jack Ricketts got Utah on the board, 9:59 in, with Maxime Barbashev getting the assist. And then the Americans tied it up as St. Crone got his 4th of the year, 11:35 in, with Thomas Cron and Michael Gildon getting the assists. Allen was 0 for 1 on the power play. Grizzlies didn't get a power play in the first period, as Grizzlies had 17 shots, so they're on pace for 51 here this morning. Luke Manning and Christian Felton each led the way with 3. Kyle Kaiser stopped 9 of 10 in the first period. Allen's David Tendek saved 16 of 17. So that does it for 20 minutes. We'll go over the scoring, and there's also, believe it or not, one other game in progress in the league, as hopefully you're having a good Wednesday morning, and if you're at work, hopefully work hasn't been too bad for you so far. After one period, the Grizzlies and the Americans are tied at 1. Utah now has 11 first-period goals in their last 8 games. Utah has been a strong second-period club as of late, so watch out for that. We'll see if the Grizzlies can utilize their speed in the middle frame. We'll come back and talk some hockey, and we'll also go over some scores and upcoming games, not only in the ECHL but NHL as well. After one period, it's the Grizzlies won and the Americans won. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
After one period of play, the Grizzlies and the Americans are tied at 1. I guess they gave Allen a shot at the very end of the first period, and Utah ended up with a 17-10 advantage in the shot count. Luke Manning and Christian Felton each had 3 shots. Neil Shea, John Gillette, and Jack Ricketts each had 2, and a couple other Grizzlies with 1 shot through 1 period. Utah got on the board as they converted on an Allen turnover, 9:59 in. Jack Ricketts got his 8th of the year. He had 4 goals in the month of November and 3 in October, and this is first in December. Maxime Barbashev, in his 3rd game as a Grizzly, picked up his 2nd assist. Ricketts now has a point in 5 straight games, and the Grizzlies took a 1-0 lead, 9:59 in. Allen got on the board as Hank Crone got his 4th of the year. Thomas Cron and Michael Gildon each picked up an assist. As Crone was out in front of the net, it might have been Cron that fed him the pass out in front, and Crone was all alone, and he put it past Kyle Kaiser, as the Americans got on the board, 11:35 in. There was one penalty in the first period. Maxime Barbashev got a tripping minor, 3:39 in. The Americans seemed like they had plenty of offensive zone time, and they had a few shots during that power play, but the Grizzlies are 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. Kyle Kaiser stopped 9 of 10 in net for Utah, and David Tendek on the Allen side, he saved 16 of 17. We'll see what happens here in the second period. The Grizzlies have been a pretty strong second period club. They have 6 second period goals in their last 4 games, and they usually do a pretty good job defensively in the second periods as well. Utah is outscoring opponents 20-16 in the second periods this season. Well, the Grizzlies have been a pretty strong road team. They are 6-3-1 on the road, but that's not unusual. Believe it or not, there's been more victories by the road teams in this league than there have by home teams. In fact, the road teams have won 53, just about 54% of games. So, the Grizzlies have been pretty strong on the road, but you can say that for most of the league. There's a few theories as to why teams have been successful on the road this year. Maybe it's just kind of a fluke deal, but nevertheless, road teams have had a lot of success, and the Grizzlies have been no different. Utah's rolling with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen as Avery Winslow's back for the first time since October 24th. One roster move after Saturday's game. Grizzlies released for J.C. Campagna. Believe it or not, there's one other game going on in the league, and that one is after 2 periods as Toledo leads Bloomington 3-1. Brandon Hawkins, former league MVP, scored 19:43 into the second period. The lone goal for Bloomington was scored by former Allen American Mikhail Robidoux. He scored 15:59 into the second period. So that's the other game in progress. After 2 frames, Toledo leads Bloomington 3-1. Later on this evening, at 5 o'clock in the Mountain Time Zone, South Carolina is at Jacksonville. Wheeling and their 14-3-1 record are on the road to take on the 9-7-2 Reading Royals. Games involving Mountain Division opponents at 6 o'clock. The 7-10-2 Iowa Heartlanders take on the 11-6 Kansas City Mavericks. At 7 o'clock, Trois-Rivières is at Idaho. The defending champion Trois-Rivières Lions are 10-5-0-2, and Idaho is 11-7-2. And, when you talk about a league where you don't have to play every opponent every year, it's based on the travel, it's shocking that the Trois-Rivières Lions have to travel all the way to Boise. But nevertheless, we'll see what happens in that series. And at 8 o'clock over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, the 7-9-2 Rapid City Rush take on the 13-6-1 Tahoe Night Monsters. So that's the Wednesday slate across the league. When we come back, we'll check on NHL scores, and the Grizzlies NHL affiliate picked up a victory last night, and they have been on an absolute tear through 26 games this season. After 1 period over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, Grizzlies got a goal from Jack Ricketts, 9:59 in. Former league MVP Hank Crone scored 11:35 in for the Americans. Looks like we got a good one over in Allen, Texas. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From From Commercial Direct Racial Truck Accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
First intermission over in Allen, Texas, and the Grizzlies and Americans are tied at 1. Let's go over the NHL scores tonight. No games, believe it or not, are in progress. No morning games in the National Hockey League. They play at a little bit more conventional times. At 5 o'clock, the Dallas Stars are at the New Jersey Devils in a rematch of the 2000 NHL Stanley Cup Finals. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on the traveling party of the Grizzlies who are disappointed the Stars are on the road tonight, as the Dallas downtown area is about a 25 to 30-minute drive. Obviously, traffic's pretty bad in Dallas, but you can get from Allen to downtown Dallas pretty easily in about a half hour. Stars are 17-5-5 on the year. And how about the Devils? They're 16-9-1. So that's a pretty good matchup at 5 o'clock. Dallas is at New Jersey. At 5:30, the 13-12 Winnipeg Jets take on the 13-9-3 Montreal Canadiens. At 5:30, the Sabres are at the Flyers. At 8 o'clock, the Capitals are at the Sharks. And also at 8 o'clock on national TV, the 12-12-3 Utah Mammoth take on the 16-9-1 Anaheim Ducks. And boy, the Mammoth certainly could use a victory, as they lost on Monday night to the San Jose Sharks by a score of 6-3. Last night, the Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, got a 3-1 victory over the Vancouver Canucks. And so Colorado has just put together an outstanding record. The Avalanche this season, through 26 games, their record is 19-1-6. They have only lost one game in regulation this season, and that was a long. That feels like it was a long time ago. The Avalanche now have a point-scoring streak in 17 straight games. So you talk about one regulation loss in 26 games. The last time that happened in the NHL was the 1979-80 Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers had a pretty strong year. In fact, the city of Philadelphia really saw a resurgence in sports in 1980. If you think about the Philadelphia Phillies, won the 1980 World Series in 6 games over the Kansas City Royals. Also in 1980, the 76ers went to the NBA Finals, where they lost to Magic Johnson in 6 games. And the Philadelphia Flyers went to the Stanley Cup Finals. They lost in 6 games to the New York Islanders. And interestingly enough, that 6th game in the Flyers-Islanders series was broadcast on CBS, and that was the only network TV game, either CBS, NBC, or ABC, that was broadcast. The only NHL game that either of those 3 networks broadcast during the entire decade of the 1980s. And that was Game 6, Flyers and Islanders. And if I remember right, that went to overtime, and Bob Nystrom got the overtime game winner to clinch the Stanley Cup for the New York Islanders. But it's kind of odd when you think about how far the NHL has come, that you think about that game, Game 6 of the 1980 NHL Stanley Cup Finals. It was the only time that any of the 3 big networks broadcast an NHL game. And it was kind of almost like a time buy that CBS Sports had. You know, everybody's trying to copy ABC's Wide World of Sports back then. And so it's interesting that was the only time any of those 3 networks broadcasted an NHL game in the entire decade of the 1980s. And that was a decade that really saw a lot of growth to the National Hockey League, as the Islanders had their big run from 1980 through 83, winning 4 Stanley Cups. And then the Oilers had their big run with Gretzky and Messier and Jari Kurri and company. And then obviously Gretzky got traded after 88, went to the LA Kings. You saw expansion in the early 1990s. And then you started to see network TV pay more attention to the National Hockey League. Fox had their deal for 5 years, and then ABC took over for 5 years. NHL missed the entire season for the lockout in the 2005-06 season. NBC really did a good job of picking up the slack and covering the NHL until obviously now, where the NHL is in a pretty good state in terms of their TV contracts with both TNT and the combination of ESPN and ABC and that conglomerate. So the NHL certainly has come a long ways, And it's interesting to think about the Colorado Avalanche. Only one regulation loss in 26 games. That hasn't happened since the 79-80 season with the Philadelphia Flyers. What a time to live in Philadelphia. 1980, Phillies won a championship. Sixers and the Flyers all both go to the finals. That was a crazy era back in Philadelphia. Certainly a fun time to be a sports fan over in Philadelphia. And not to forget the Philadelphia Eagles in the 1980 NFL season. They went to a Super Bowl that year. They lost to the Oakland Raiders in January of 1981. So what a crazy time for sports in Philadelphia. No, I didn't have to look any of that up. It's just something that every sports fan should know. They show some highlights of the first period on Flow Sports as Grizzlies. Let's see if they can show the replay of that goal that was scored by Jack Ricketts, 9:59, and it was off an Allen turnover. Ricketts has done a great job converting on turnovers, and he's going to be an outstanding pro. He's already pretty strong, and for Jack Ricketts, seems like he gets good scoring chances every game, and he does a great job creating his own chance out of nothing. He could be at neutral ice with a puck, and it doesn't look like anything's going on. He just kind of slithers around defensemen, and before you know it, he's found himself a pretty good scoring chance. Believe it or not, they actually skipped the Jack Ricketts goal. Hank Crone. Crone's probably a favorite among the kids in attendance. His jersey number is 67 or 67, if you will. They showed highlights of the first period. Oddly enough, they didn't show the Grizzlies' goal. We're tied at 1 heading into the second period. We'll come back and have second period action. We'll skate 5-on-5 on the other side. You've been tuned into the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Well, we're about set for second period action over in Allen, Texas. And do bear with me. Unfortunately, we are at the mercy of the one video feed we have as we're hanging out just outside the Grizzlies team store at Maverick Center. So what did we learn in that first period? One, off the top, it was great to have Avery Winslow back. Winslow didn't have a shot in the first period, but he had a couple good shifts. And there was one instance where he accelerated away from an Allen player and got the puck out of his own zone quickly. Winslow makes quick decisions with the puck, and he's certainly a good one. And the Grizzlies came into the season with a lot of defensive depth, and that's certainly been tested with the injuries and the unfortunate trade of Garrett Pike from the Grizzlies to the Hershey Bears. In an American Hockey League deal, the Eagles traded Pike to get a forward. The Grizzlies haven't seen that forward yet, as that forward has had some success with the Eagles here so far. And you talk about the injuries to Connor Kelly and Noah Gansky. So the Grizzlies have been tested in terms of their depth defensively. Great to have Avery Winslow back, and the defenseman certainly made quick and strong decisions with the puck. Well, we learned in the first period, Jack Ricketts is still pretty good at hockey. He now has 8 goals on the season. He was outstanding in his last 4 games in November, and he continues that run. Allen scored 11:35 in with Hank Crone to tie it up. And we'll see what the Grizzlies do in the second period. Utah's been a strong second period club throughout this season. One of the things we also learned during the first intermission is that Philadelphia sports was absolutely on fire during the 1980 calendar year, as all 4 of their major sports teams either won the championship or lost in the championship series. So there's a little bit of a history lesson. Maybe during the second intermission, we'll talk about some of the great years in the history of Utah sports. I think 1979 would certainly be up there with the Final Four being in town, Magic versus Bird. And then that was the same year the National Basketball Association and the Utah Jazz came into existence, moving from New Orleans. 1998 was also a great year. And the Grizzlies are hoping that 2026 will be a strong year in their final hunt before they head off to Trenton, New Jersey. Grizzlies came into play with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Utah will start the second period, and from time to time, the Grizzlies will have a different forward line to start each period, and it looks like this time it's going to be Christoph Filion with Jack Ricketts and Maxim Barbashev, and the Grizzlies will have a defensive pairing of Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Today, he's paired up with Avery Winslow. But I'm not sure if that's Winslow or Colby Enns on the ice. The Grizzlies are rolling with an odd number of forwards and defensemen, so they are switching things up quite a bit on their line combinations. Grizzlies will skate from right to left as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports. Allen will start the second period with Michael Gildon taking the drives out there with Crone and Caron. Utah wins the draw. Hansen-Bukata gets it across. I believe that's Colby Enns on the ice. He'll move it ahead from blue line to blue line. Off of Barbashev's stick, the puck goes deep into the Allen zone. As Filion and Ricketts hold their ground, Gildon in the area. Filion's got good speed as he continues his battle. Ricketts with the puck, trying to get towards Barbashev. It's sticked away by an American. Good play by the Americans. I think that was Michael Gildon, number 91, who had 1 first period assist. He moves it across. Caron over the offense line. He played with Idaho. Now centering pass. Lefty shot and a score. Anania fed it towards his left. And getting the goal, I believe it's Hank Crone's second of the game. And yeah, you better believe the 11-year-olds are going to be thrilled that the guy wearing the jersey number 6-7 gives the Americans a 2-1 lead, 34 seconds into the second period. Boy, kind of an unfortunate break. It looked like there was a Grizzly stick out in the slot trying to redirect the centering pass, and that was a little bit earlier before the replay. They showed Anania on the right side. He fed one across to Crone, and Crone gets his second of the game and 5th of the season. So 34 seconds into the second period. All the kids in attendance with the Thunder Sticks, they're excited. 2 unanswered for Allen, both of them by Hank Crone. Anania is going to pick up 1 of the assists. That'll be 9 for him on the year. As puck goes deep into the Grizzly zone towards the far side, and it's brushed from Felton to the near corner. Grizzlies moving out to center ice, and Genev chases after the puck, but the Americans will slice it ahead. Puck ricochets off the boards. As Utah's in the offensive zone, right side, Timofeyev gets rammed into by an American as Allen gets the puck back behind their net. As Kadek battles with Weinstein. Weinstein gets it. He fires towards the net and misses wide. Puck towards the right point. The Grizzly goes down and goes to center ice. 2-on-2 for the Americans. Allen left side. And good defensive play by Weinstein, getting a stick in the way as the puck slides off the end boards onto Kaiser, who covers up. Boy, Sage Weinstein's certainly building some confidence game in and game out. He's a +3 in his last 6 games. He intercepted the centering pass. If Weinstein wouldn't have gotten a stick in the way, Allen would have had another prime scoring chance. So we talked about the Grizzlies and their success in the second period, but it's the Americans that are rolling strong. There's Trevor Ladon, if you're watching on Flow Sports. Normally number 14. He's wearing number 25 today. Unfortunately, they did not inform me that Ladon was wearing 25 until I saw him on the ice. So Trevor Ladon is in there as the Americans only have a couple scratches. As puck towards the far side, it's in the Allen zone. As we played 1:40 of this second period. Now the Americans will race out to center ice. They'll slice one towards their right. Allen chases after at the Utah line. An American gets some lumber from Avery Winslow. And then it looked like an American took offense. So Troy Murray's taking it after with Avery Winslow. As Winslow gave Murray some lumber, and then Murray returned the favor. And we'll see if referee Tyler Spott awards penalties either way. So it looks like Simmons Fisher trying to get broken up. As now Friesen gets dragged by Murray. Boy, Murray's that type of player. Well, he likes to mix things up. Just an innocent-looking play. Winslow got him in the back, and now Murray's trying to bully Friesen. And the Allen Americans, they admit it. They love to play that kind of hockey. That's their style. And they certainly have no problems in playing that way, especially after the whistle. They love to be the aggressors. As Troy Murray appears to not be getting any penalties, but there is a penalty on the play as Braden Simmons Fisher. He goes 6'7", 225 pounds. He'll sit in the box for 2 minutes. Simmons Fisher can't believe it. He shakes his head back and forth. And so he gets a 2-minute penalty. And so the Grizzlies will be on the power play for the first time this morning. Utah's 18.6% on the power play this year. Allen's got a pretty good penalty kill unit at 88.6%. So Simmons Fisher sits in the box for 2 minutes. Grizzlies' normal 5-man power play unit has been Neil Shea with Reed Webster, Jack Ricketts. We've seen Luke Manning get some power play time, and Manning's out there right now taking the face-off, and the top power play defenseman after the Garrett Pike trade from the Colorado Eagles to the Hershey Bears has been Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Bukata's got 5 power play assists this season. Utah wins the draw. Hansen-Bukata gets to Shea right side one-timer, and that one goes wide. Tendek might have gotten a piece of it as Webster throws it behind Allen's net. Ricketts gets the puck. He'll feed it up top. Shea's in the right point, dancing around. He'll skate towards the right circle. Shea stops, feeds it up top. Hansen-Bukata's in the right point. Fakes to his left and gets it to Shea off the boards. Now back up top, Hansen-Bukata. Over to the left wing. Webster dances around. Back towards Hansen-Bukata. One-timer goes wide. He missed the net stick side on Tendek, and the puck goes out to center ice. Grizzlies reset. 30 seconds into the power play. Allen leads 2-1. Hansen-Bukata back deep in his own zone. Grizzlies skate from right to left as Hansen-Bukata lays it for Webster, who races towards neutral ice. Webster will chip it back to his right. Shea will move it to Ricketts in the left wing. Ricketts over the line, trying to slither his way through 2 Americans. Puck goes towards the left corner. Allen will slice it along the wall. The Americans get it over in the far circles. They'll race out to center ice. Allen attacks 2-on-2. Americans get it to the middle of the ice all alone. Blaisdell, and he gets it taken away. Good defensive play by Luke Manning. Now a turnover. Blaisdell throws it to the middle of the ice for Watts, and it was behind Watts. Watts is down. Ricketts towards center ice, and I think they called a penalty as looked like Blaisdell was at the middle of the ice. He got knocked down, and I believe a penalty is going to be called on Utah for it. So looks like that will even things up. We'll skate 4-on-4. Ricketts is near the penalty box, and it looks like it's on him. So Jack Ricketts will go to the box. We don't see the referee's signal as to what the penalty is, but Ricketts broke a hockey rule, and so we'll skate 4-on-4 for 50 seconds, and then after that, the Americans will have a power play. So we played 3 minutes into the second period. Allen with 1 goal in the first, 1 in the second. Hank Krohn's goal 34 seconds into the second period was assisted by Andre Anania and Thomas Caron. So face-off's going to be, we're not sure where the draw is. I think it's in the Grizzly zone. Timofeyev will take it against Gildon. Shot right off the draw goes wide as the Americans' Michael Gildon loses control of the puck. Timofeyev will get it to Genev. Genev over the offense line. He gets a big-time hip check from Hank Krohn. Puck towards the left corner. Now Genev fakes to getting it to Timofeyev, and it's knifed away by Quinn Warmoth. The Americans back deep in their own zone. They spread the ice as there's 27 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Then after that, the Americans will have a power play. Gildon moves to his right. Tape to Krohn. Krohn loses his. Sage Weinstein gets it across to Felton, who races towards neutral ice. Felton's a good skater. Moves to his left. He tried to chip it towards Weinstein, but it glanced off Weinstein's skate. Now down the middle of the ice, Timofeyev. Shoulder fake. Trying to center it towards Weinstein. It's poked away by Tendek. Genev gets hit in the back by Warmoth. Puck slides towards the left point. Felton moves it across. Weinstein towards the left circle. Grizzlies in the offensive zone. They move it towards the right wing. And now out of the box is an American, and Allen starts a power play. Grizzlies have 2 shorthanded goals this season. Both have been scored by Webster. Allen will sweep it deep in the Grizzly zone. It's taken by Felton, who stands behind Kaiser's net. Felton will pitch it off the left wing boards, which is the near side. Felton will slide it back in as it goes all the way deep into the American zone. Grizzlies off the screen, I imagine, make a line change. As the Americans, Andre Anania, he'll slide one back as Sedley moves to his left. Now back off a Grizzly stick. Puck hit opposite center ice. Watts gets it. As the Americans will back it out into their own zone. Less than 30 seconds left in Allen's abbreviated power play. Grizzlies in a black jersey, white numbers, professional green trim. Allen is in white jerseys with red numbers, red lettering, and a little bit of red mixed in on the shoulders. The Americans will fire it off the far wing boards as Chase Maxwell. Now Barbashev gets it. He'll skate 2-on-2. Barbashev, toe drag, drops for Ness right side. Ness with a righty shot, saved by Tendek. Rebound goes out of play. Well, let's see. Maybe Tendek collected it. Either way, play stops with 15:05 left in the second. 6 seconds left in Allen's power play. Tendek shaking his head back and forth. He's got an Arizona Coyotes style mask. Tendek, a former draft pick of the Arizona Coyotes. That was back quite a few years ago now. sixth round in 2018. Had an NHL deal with Arizona. Spent some time with the AHL's Tucson Roadrunners over a 2-year stretch. And 2 different seasons with the Rapid City Rush. Friesen will take the draw against Asachuk. Draw one by Utah. Gillette, lefty shot that goes wide as it ricochets off the glass. Out of the box is Ricketts, so we're skating 5-on-5. So Utah's now 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Allen over the offense line. They'll chip it in. Sedley. Clydes gets there about the same time with Winslow as Allen pushes it up top. Right point, the Americans get it back in deep to the right corner. As Friesen delivers a push on Brad Morrison, who shields Friesen from the puck. Morrison dancing free. Now in the corner, he gets pushed to the boards by Salem and Winslow. Asachuk centers. That's picked off by Gillette. John Gillette moves to his left. As Ricketts over the offensive line stops before he gets to the left corner. He'll drop it back for Winslow. Winslow loses control of the puck, and the Americans will lift it up but not out. Winslow kept it in the left wing. Utah centers it. Shot saved by Tendek. Asachuk gets the puck, and he'll clear it all the way into the Grizzlies zone. Puck bounces, and it's going to be icing on Allen with 14:11 left in the second. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. We know it's unusual to see a hockey game this early in the morning with it not being like a replay. Believe it or not, there's one other game in the league after 2 periods. Toledo leads Bloomington 3-1. So draw's going to be over in the left circle. We'll see if the Grizzlies can find a way to tie it up. Jack Ricketts scored 9:59 into the first period, and the Americans have scored 2 unanswered. Hank Crone, 11:35 into the first period, and then 34 seconds into the second. So it's Hank Crone 2, and the Grizzlies 1. Luke Manning will take the draw and try to get it back towards Shea. Allen cut behind Manning in front of Shea. As puck now goes to the left corner of the Allen zone. Shea gets it up top. Weinstein winds, fakes. Now he'll move it to his right. Felton gets around Blaisdell. Now Felton in the right wing, backhand shot. And that one goes just wide. It tipped out a play off the glass. Boy, Felton had a pretty good look. He tried to get it over Tendek's right shoulder, which is his glove side. Somehow either Tendek got a piece of it or Felton missed it wide. Puck out of play, timeout with 13:55 left in the second. It's the Americans 2 and the Grizzlies 1. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Thirteen minutes, 55 seconds left in the second period. Allen leads Utah 2-1. Allen has a 2-1 advantage in the second period. So draw's going to be over in the right circle of the American zone. 2 penalties have been called so far in the period. Braden Simmons-Fisher got a roughing minor, 150 in, and then the Grizzlies, Jack Ricketts got an elbowing minor, 301 in. Manning will take the drives out there with Lebster and Neil Shea as we're skating 5-on-5. Draw won by the Americans, but it goes off the right wing boards. Lebster gets it, fires the righty shot. Save rebound shot by Manning. That one's blocked away by Tendek. As Weinstein feeds to the left corner, nobody there but an American. Braden Simmons-Fisher will roll it along the boards towards the far side, and it slides all the way towards Utah ice. Lebster gets the puck, cuts across Kaiser towards the left wing. Now he'll move it to center ice. Manning dumps it in. Shea's in the area. As Tendek behind his net will throw it to a defenseman. They go D to D. Trevor Ledon, normally number 14. He's wearing 25 today. As the puck slides towards the Utah line, Allen gets a 2-on-1. Americans trying to get it back towards Crone, and Weinstein got a stick in the way from Caron. Now left side, shot that goes wide. Crone tried to swing for a hat trick and missed. Crone gets it up top, and it goes past the guy in the high slot all the way back deep in the American zone. Allen will switch up skaters, and I believe the Grizzlies will do so away from the screen as Manning will skate towards the bench at the end of his shift. Barbashev out there with Jack Ricketts, and I believe Filion's out there as well. The Americans will start the attack. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the period. Kanek loses control of the puck. Grizzlies will fire it off the near wing boards deep in the American zone. Kanek gets the idle puck. He'll throw it from one corner to the other as Hargrove will chip it off the glass. It goes to center ice as Colby Ends, wearing number 5. He gets belted by Hargrove. Ends is able to dump it in as the Americans roll it along the near wing wall. Kanek will bounce one up but not out. Barbashev kept it in. Barbashev on one knee. Now he gets back to his feet, gets to Filion. He tried to drop it back for Barbashev. It's tapped away. Now Ricketts left side. His shot's blocked, and the Americans will carry it across center ice. Utah back defensively. Allen over the offensive line, but everybody stopped skating as it appears the Americans might have been offside with 12:15 left in the second. As Quinn Warmoth stopped play, Hargrove slams a stick on the boards as Hargrove's upset after his last shift. As Harrison Blaisdell, he's got an A on his sweater. Blaisdell had 2 goals last Friday against the Grizzlies, former 5th-round pick of the Winnipeg Jets. Asachuk in the area. As draw's going to be at neutral ice after the Americans were called for an offside. Ness will take the draw against Asachuk, but it's Asachuk that wins the draw. Asachuk, not quite a face-off specialist because he does other things, but he's won a ton of face-offs for the Americans over the years, and that's a big part as to why he's still on the roster. Asachuk dumps into the right corner. Kabori Dunn gets hit in the side. Puck slides all the way towards Allen Ice. Coming out of his crease is Tendek, and he'll outlet it all the way towards the Utah line as Blaisdell enters. As he gets cut off by Genev, Blaisdell rolls it along the roulette wheel. As Salem over there with an American. Watts reverses it back towards the left corner. As Dunn gets hit in the back by Blaisdell. Ness joins the play. Allen has the puck on the left side. They get it across. Lefty shot goes wide. Glove side on Kaiser. Puck still alive. Allen behind Utah's net. Dunn in the area. Trying to force his way in. Zasachuk. He gets it poked away by Salem. Ness gets the puck. And he'll saucer it all the way towards the left side for Timofeyev. As Ness back behind the net. And he'll solicit it to the right side. Genev lefty shot. Saved by Tendek. And he holds on with 11:16 left in the second. So the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. As David Tendek, we mentioned the Arizona Coyotes theme mask that he's wearing, former Coyotes draft pick, as Harrison Blaisdell skates off the ice. Evan Friesen on the ice for Utah. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists in 18 games. Utah's exactly a fourth of the way through the regular season coming into play, as it's game 19 of 72. Friesen's out there with Gillette and Filion. Filion gets a stick lifted as Allen gets the puck. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we try to see the game from Flow Sports. As we're 9 minutes into the second period, Allen spreads the ice. Americans, rink wide feed, angle right. Goes tape to Cron. Cron right side, his lefty shot goes wide. He missed the net stick side on Kaiser. As puck rolls back towards the right wing, Sedley reverses it back around. Now behind Utah's net, Allen gets it. Crone trying to feed one out in front. It goes wide. As now Gildon collides with Felton as Friesen nearby Chrome over to the left wing. Allen gets up top. Sedley will pedal towards his left. Now Sedley will slide towards the left goal line. He stops and blows a tire as Sedley, second-year pro, as Filion in the area along with Felton. Puck goes back towards the left point slowly. Allen fires towards the net and a missed wide. Back to the right side as Anania get it towards Gildon. Out of the middle of the ice, Allen fakes a one-timer. We're about halfway through the scheduled 60-minute affair. Anania feeds it across. Righty one-timer, and that's blocked before it gets towards Kaiser as Kaiser freezes in the butterfly position. Puck still alive as Crone gets some lumber in the back from Weinstein. Crone now around Utah's net towards the left wing as Crone pitches up top, left side. Now they direct it back to Anania. He'll solicit it back to the middle of the ice, high slot as the Americans will tap it off the right wing boards. Crone gets it. And he'll drop it off as the Americans get it back up top. Sedley will move it to his left. Allen with plenty of offensive zone time. Kanek, he's in the left wing. He'll get it in deep off the Utah backboards. Hargrove gets it off the wall. He gets it back up top. Sedley, high slot, righty shot, and that's blocked by Kaiser. Rebound shot as Morrison's second look is blocked away by Kaiser. Filion gets the puck. As he'll race across center ice wearing number 25. Filion crosses center ice, a former Quinnipiac, Miami, Ohio product. But play stops. And now Sam Sedley's going to bully Filion as apparently, and I can't hear the whistle or any of the sounds in Allen, but apparently the whistle blew. Filion fired towards the net, and Sedley went to confront Filion. 9:27 left in the second. It's the Americans 2 and the Grizzlies 1. We're back in 1 minute on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
First game for the Grizzlies in the month of December. And for Utah, it's their first in a 3-game set over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. 4th straight meeting between the Grizzlies and Americans. Allen won 2 out of 3 games last week at Maverick Center, winning by identical 4-2 scores last Wednesday and Friday. Grizzlies got a 3-2 victory as Reed Lebster got the game winner with about a minute and a half left in regulation. Neutral zone drive to the Grizzlies were called for offside. Jay Manning and Lebster on the ice. Watch out for Reed Lebster. He leads Utah with 9 goals this season, and he has 3 game winners. Jack Ricketts has Utah's lone goal. He scored .959 into the first period, and Ricketts is second on the club with 8 goals. Puck deflects out of play. He got tipped, so no delay of game as action was in the American zone. There's 9:22 left in the second. Faceoff's going to be in the American zone. Aiden Hansen-Buchanda's on the ice. He is tied with Tyler Gratton for the club lead with 9 assists. Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, is out for the 3rd straight game. Manning crouches down low, the Air Force and St. Thomas product. He was a college teammate with a couple different Allen Americans, Trevor Ladon and Braden Simmons-Fisher. All 3 of those guys played at Air Force at St. Thomas for a time. The Americans back deep in their own zone. Ladon, wearing number 25, gets it towards the near side for Simmons-Fisher. Americans cross center ice. Hargrove with some momentum moves to his left as the Americans. Morrison gets held up by a Grizzly over in the left circle as Morrison tries to box out Shea from the puck. As Shea now gets it, he'll race across center ice as he'll move it towards Ness, who dumps it in. Grizzlies rolling with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. Shea gets hit. Oh, that's a dangerous hit. Shea's injured. Oh, that's a shame. He ricocheted his knee off the boards, and hopefully Shea's okay. They stop plays across center ice. Oh, that's a shame. Based on Neil Shea, he got hit from behind by an American, and you could just see immediately that was an awkward hit as he banged his knee off the boards. And it'd be great if we could see Neil Shea to just get, that's a shame. It looked like Shea got injured on that play. Penalty's going to be called. Steve Martinson can't believe it. And Martinson, he's been the Allen coach for quite some time, former NHL enforcer. And Shea just bounced. He got hit. Well, hopefully, he got hit from behind. It looked like it was pretty much his knee along the boards. They show the replay of the hit. Simmons-Fisher, he just crashed his right knee along the boards in an awkward angle. You could just tell that almost immediately that hurt Shea. But no penalty was called, as that was deemed a clean hit. We're back to live action. 8:25 left in the second. Martinson was just upset that the whistle blew. Boy, hopefully Shea's okay, as that one looked like he ricocheted his knee on an awkward angle on a Simmons-Fisher hit. 8:13 left in the second, as Genev gets taken off the puck by Jackson Decker, and the puck back to neutral ice, and it wobbles into the Grizzlies zone. Kaiser directs traffic as getting the puck and skating towards the near side is Sage Weinstein. As Weinstein moves it ahead to center ice, as Ricketts, right wing, he fires a backhand shot saved by Tendek. He holds on with 7:51 left in the second. So the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. Allen, Texas is the home of the 2026 League All-Star Game. That should be an interesting one. We'll see which Grizzly ends up going. Got to imagine Jack Ricketts, Reed Lebster are certainly strong candidates. Kyle Kaiser's off to a good start this season. Draw one by the Americans. They're in their own zone, skating from left to right, Grizz from right to left. As the Americans, with a cross-country flight, bounces at center ice. As Felton gets over to the right side now across to Filion off the wall. Christoph Filion, he'll drop it off. Weinstein swings and misses, and his equipment let him down as his stick broke. As the Americans ice it. There's a man over there, but the Americans are offside as long-range feed over towards Caron. Looks like he's offside with 7:26 left in the second. First of 3 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Don't forget, There are going to be games on Friday and Saturday nights. Referee is Tyler Spott. I think it's the first time that we've seen Tyler Spott officiate a Grizzly game. Ricketts will take the face-off for Utah. Ricketts has an AHL contract with the Tucson Roadrunners. He's one of 3 Grizzlies to have AHL contracts with Tucson. Barbashev and Dylan Wells are the others. So draws in Allen territory, neutral ice near dot. Grizzlies won the draw. Hanson Bukata over to ends. Nil cycled around the boards. Sedley gets there along with Ricketts. There's action in the Allen zone. Filion gets back checked and knocked down by Gildon. Barbashev and Ricketts join the play. Ricketts to Barbashev, who gets hit in the back as Barbashev gets some lumber from Anania. The Americans will sky it out to center ice. Puck hippity hops towards the Utah line. Karan gets it, but the Americans are offside with 7:02 left in the second. I mentioned before, but the Grizzlies have been a strong road club this season. They're 6-3-1 on the road, and they've outscored opponents 32-28. But I guess if you count the 2-1 score, it would be 33-30 so far this season. So it looks like the draw is going to be in the American zone. Haven't seen too many special teams opportunities this morning. As Karan stares down, Friesen will take the drives out there with Gillette and Reed Lebster. Face-off one by Utah. Lebster gets in the right corner. He tries to break free of Anania. Lebster has a glance off his stick, and the Americans roll it out to center ice. Grizzlies get it back. Utah will pitch it ahead. Friesen will enter from the right wing, but Utah is offside with 6:49 left in the second. So we've seen quite a few whistles here over the last couple minutes. Both teams, as we mentioned before, they're used to being on the ice around this time of day. But, of course, this time of day, it would either be morning skate on a game day or it would be a normal practice. And practices don't last more than an hour or so. So it's kind of an extended practice, an extended morning skate, and this one counts. It's one of 7 games in the league this evening, and one of 2 going on right now. Bloomington's taking on Toledo about the same time. That game should be just about wrapping up. As Allen at center ice will loft it in. Winslow, back for the first time since October 24th, gets the puck. He's got good speed. He'll tattoo it off the wall. Allen, back at neutral ice, has control of it. Caddick will back it out as the Americans go D to D. Now he slide it back towards the defenseman as Costantini, or will throw it to the left wing. Costantini's actually a scratch this morning as back towards the right side. So Costantini obviously didn't take the puck there. Simmons Fisher bouncing off the end boards as Cronin hat trick watch feeds it up top. Now across Simmons Fisher, right wing. His shot's blocked. It is blocked by Gillette. Now Simmons Fisher gets it back, and he'll move it to his left as the Americans get it towards the left circle. Allen with a lefty shot saved by Kaiser. Rebound goes to Barbashev, who backhands it off the glass. Puck hipping hops towards the line. Hargrove keeps it in. Now Winslow battles with Allen along the boards. Now a few Grizzlies converge on the play. Friesen gets a stick lifted. Friesen gets the puck and he'll ice it all the way down. As Barbashev in the area, and icing is on Utah with 5:38 left in the second. So John's going to come back towards Kyle Kaiser, who's making his 6th appearance and 5th start as a Grizzly, 6'2", 179 pounds, and he's certainly been brilliant in a Grizzlies uniform. He has a .945 save percentage and a 1.70 goals against average coming into play this evening. The Kaiser was outstanding in 3 games with the Colorado Eagles in the American Hockey League earlier this year, where he had a 2-1 record with a .937 save percentage and 1 shutout. He has 6 shutouts in his pro career, including 2 this season. Allen in the offensive zone. Decker down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot, and it's blocked. Grizzlies clear it out to center ice, racing after a loose puck. Barbashev gets there about the same time as an American. Barbashev, the former Rangers draft pick, dumps into the right corner. Barbashev gives Warmuth some lumber. Now Weinstein left side. He'll take a lefty shot, and stick saved by Tendek. Manning overskates the rebound. Allen comes out across center ice. Warmuth drives it around the boards. Kaiser lets it go towards the far corner, goes back up top. Allen in the left point as they'll feed it to the left circle. They try to get it across. Now bouncing puck. Warmuth, righty shot, saved by Kaiser, and he holds on and stops play with 5:01 left in the second. Allen leads Utah 2-1. Both of the American goals have been scored by Hank Chrome. Jack Ricketts found the back of the net, 9:59 into the first period. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Grizzlies looking to find a way to get the tying goal, and we certainly hope Neil Shea's okay as he ricocheted his right leg off the boards on a hit from Braden Simmons-Fisher. We haven't seen him since. More hockey in a moment.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Allen leads 2-1 as the Grizzlies are looking for the tying goal. There's 5 minutes and 1 second left in the second period. Grizzlies outshot Allen 17-10 in the first period. And here so far in the second, Allen has an 8-5 edge in the shot count. So as it stands, Utah has outshot Allen 22-18. Utah is 0 for 1 on the power play. Allen is 0 for 2. We're skating 5-on-5. Luke Manning, Jack Ricketts, and Christian Felton each lead Utah with 3 shots. Shea, Webster, and Gillette each have 2 shots. Kyle Kaiser saved 16 of 18 in net for Utah, and Allen's David Tendek has saved 21 of 22. As the Grizzlies get the puck, they skate from right to left and racing towards, and that's Neil Shea on the ice, and that's certainly great to see. You can tell he's not necessarily 100%, but Neil Shea's back out there. As the Americans will dump it in, as Weinstein and Felton converge on the puck. Weinstein gets belted on the side by Caddick. As Manning gives Caddick some lumber from behind. Weinstein towards the far corner will pitch it ahead. Allen cuts it off. Puck bounces back to Weinstein, who moves it from one corner to the other, hits a stanchion. Felton gets double-teamed along the boards. Manning delivers a push on Caddick. Puck hits the side of Utah's net as Allen gets bounced by Manning. As shot from the right side goes wide. Weinstein nudges it ahead, but it goes up and not out. Morrison battles with Webster. Grizzly got hit in the back pretty hard. Now hitting back in the back hard once again as Luke Manning got cross-checked in the back twice. No penalty either way. As McCauley stares down Manning, Allen gets it in deep behind Utah's net as Caddick dances around the left side. Now he drops it back behind Utah's net. Felton knocks down an American. As Sage Weinstein, he avoids a check as Caddick tried to light up his world. Manning over the offense line, drops it for Shea. Take a lefty shot, saved by Tendek. As Manning keeps the play alive, look for the wraparound. He got cut off by Gildon. Now the Americans come back the other way. Allen has numbers, 3-on-1. Allen skates towards the left side, shot and a score. Toss those hats as Hank Crone gets his 3rd of the game. And it's now a 3-1 contest. 3:24 is left in the second. Not sure if any 11-year-olds are going to give way of their hats to toss them on the ice. The Americans had an on-man break. Crone fired it right over Kaiser. Hank Crone has all 3 of the Americans' goals on Kids Day over in Allen, Texas. You bet the guy wearing 6'7" on the back of his jersey is the one that's a hero. I don't know if there's many hats, if any, that are being thrown on the ice. In fact, there's a few people wearing hats right now that aren't throwing them on the ice. Believe it or not, it doesn't appear a single hat was thrown on the ice. That tradition, unfortunately, seems to have died away. I don't know what the case was. Hank Crone clearly got his 3rd of the game, but nobody threw their hat on the ice. It's Hank Crone 3 and the Utah Grizzlies 1. And people were complaining that there weren't enough Mammoth fans throwing hats on the ice after Logan Cooley's hat trick. Well, the Allen American fans said, hold my beer. Or in this case, since it's Kids Day, hold my orange juice. Ricketts crosses center ice. He dumps it in. As Grizzlies looking for a comeback, but the second period has belonged to the Americans. Now left side, Barbashev shot saved by Tendek. As Barbashev looking for his first goal as a Grizzly, played with Bloomington last year and also spent some time in the American League with Hartford. As puck towards the left circle, Salem collides with Ladon. Now the Americans back towards the near wing. Salem gets it across Felton. We'll get it in deep off the Allen backboard. Puck slides towards the left corner. As the Grizzlies will get it back around. Allen lumbers Genev in the back. It looks like a lot of players are getting away with cross checks on both sides here. None have been called. Salem throws it back in. Tendek behind his net cuts it off. 2:11 on a moving clock, second period. Allen leads 3-1 on 3 Hank Crone goals. Asachuk skates behind Utah's net. And now the puck slides off a stanchion. Salem gets the puck, and he'll veer off to the right. Salem around center ice will backhand it off the boards. Ness battles with Blaisdell, and Blaisdell does a good job shielding Ness from the puck. Hank Crone sitting on the bench as he talks things over with Michael Gildon, and Crone's probably can't believe that there's not a single hat that was thrown on the ice, and he's like, can these kids count to 3? I got 3 tonight. Now we're back to live action after seeing Crone for about 10 seconds. As action's over in the far corner, Timofeyev fired towards the net and hits the outside of the cage on a tough angle. Felton over to the right wing, gets to Ness. As Ness is over on the right side, he'll get behind the net for Geniev. Danny Geniev, centering pass, shot goes wide. Boy, Utah had a pretty good look from the right wing on a Geniev pass. Weinstein keeps it in the offensive zone over to Geniev. He skates the right side, gets to Ness. Ness, right wing, righty shot, kick save by Tendek off his left pad. Geniev skates along the right side. He tried to roof it and ended up missing a little bit high. Geniev over in the corner with 2 Allen Americans, and Allen will lift it over Geniev's head. Puck bounces and slides all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone, and the arm is raised by both linesmen, icing on Allen with 58.7 seconds left in the second. So draw comes back towards David Tendek. Well, the Grizzlies have been busy. Well, you got to hand it to Tendek. He did a great job keeping the Americans into Saturday night's game. Utah won 3-2, but Tendek stopped 42 of 45, and he was outstanding. And Tendek so far this morning, he has saved 25 of 26. Ricketts scored 9:59 into the first period, and then Crone responded with 3 unanswered. He scored 11:35 into the first, 34 seconds into the second, and 16:36 into the second. Crone's third goal right now is listed as unassisted. Battle along the left wing, and it looks like we get a whistle. Holding is going to be the call, and who goes to the box? Looks like it's going to be a Utah power play as an American will skate towards the box, and Jackson Decker can't believe it. He gets his 4th minor penalty of the year as he has some words for Tyler Spott. So it's going to be a Utah power play with 47.1 seconds left in the second as Jackson Decker gets 2 minutes for holding. Utah has a power play goal in 10 of their last 12 games. Luke Manning will take the draw for Utah. We'll probably see Lebster, Shea, and Ricketts out there with Hanson Bukata. And it was great. Neil Shea maybe missed a shift, maybe 2 shifts, but he's back on the ice for the Grizzlies. He took an awkward hit and bounced his right knee along the boards as he got hit from behind by Braden Simmons-Fisher. Looked like kind of a clean hit as there was no penalty on the play. Anania, one of the Allen skaters on the ice. He's had a pretty good season. He has 1 assist this morning and 9 on the year. Allen kind of wearing sharp-looking jerseys, reminiscent of what you'd normally see from the Washington Capitals. As Manning will talk things over with Lebster. As for some reason, there's a little bit of a delay. And everybody's just kind of standing around. Not sure if referee Tyler Spott had to... We're not sure what it is, but everybody's just kind of standing around as there's 47 seconds left. Remember, if the Grizzlies don't score the remainder of the second period, the power play will carry over into the third. Now it looks like we're back for action as Manning will take the draw against Colby McCauley. Draw won by Utah. Hanson Bukata dance around to the left wing. Gets to the Lebster, gets double-teamed. Allen took the puck away. The Americans will clear it all the way into the Grizzlies zone. As Kaiser stays in front of his net, Hanson Bukata gets around Karan. Now Karan knifes it away from Hanson Bukata. Grizzlies get it back. Lebster races towards his left. He crosses center ice. Now steps over the offensive blue. Bounces off the boards. Lebster gets it back. Lebster will move it towards his right. Off the wall for Manning. As Manning will skate towards his left. Now back to Shea on the left side. Shea dances around in the corner. He'll brush it back up top for Hanson Bukata, who directs it to his right. Across to Shea, left side. Lefty shot. Saved by Tendek. Rebound. Allen gets it, and they clear it out. So that will do it for second period action. Grizzlies will be on the power play for the first minute and 13 seconds of the third. Utah's going to be looking for a comeback. Jack Ricketts scored 9:59 into the first period, and Hank Crone responded with 3 unanswered goals, 1 in the first period and 2 in the second. And the Americans head to the locker room with a 3-1 lead. So for Utah, I wouldn't say getting something on the power play. Wouldn't say it's absolutely critical in their comeback bid, but Utah does need to get some offensive zone time and get something generated offensively, and they're going to have to do it in a similar fashion to how they did in the third period against Tendek. They're going to have to get action out in front. They're going to have to find a way to screen him. They're going to have to find a way to get all up in his business, just like they did on the Webster game winner. Because it looks like if Tendek can see it, he's going to stop it this morning. So he looks like he's got his A game, and the Grizzlies, they can find a way to beat David Tendek, but they're going to have to find a way to make life difficult for the Allen goaltender. Well, when we come back, we will recap the first two periods and also go over some scores from around the world of sports. We talked about 1980 Philadelphia sports and what a run they had. We might talk about the great seasons in the history of Salt Lake City sports. We'll come back on the other side. Allen leads 3-1, or specifically Hank Crone leads Utah 3-1. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
After 40 minutes of play over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, the Allen Americans get 3 goals from Hank Crone, and they lead Jack Ricketts and the Grizzlies 3-1. Utah got on the board first as Jack Ricketts scored 9:59 in. It was off an Allen turnover. Maxime Barbashev gets his second assist as a Grizzly. It's just his third game in a Utah uniform. At that point, the Grizzlies had a big shot advantage, and they led 1-0 halfway through the first. And then Hank Crone tied it up 11:35 in with Thomas Cron and Michael Gildon getting the assist. It was a 5-on-5 goal. Neither team has a power play goal so far, as both clubs are 0 for 2 on the power play. Score was tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play, with the Grizzlies outshooting the Americans 17-10. In the second period, the shot count was pretty close to even. Grizzlies ended up with a 10-9 edge in the shot counts, but it was all Hank Crone. He scored 34 seconds into the second period, with Andre Anania and Thomas Cron getting the assist. And then Crone completed the hat trick on an odd man break. He scored unassisted, 16:36 in. And with that, it didn't appear that anybody threw their hat on the ice. Now, unfortunately, we didn't quite get the camera angles that would let us know if there was any fans that tossed them or not. I know that there were some Vegas fans that made fun of Utah Mammoth fans for not having enough hats thrown on the ice after Logan Cooley's third goal. It was kind of odd. They were panning the crowd right before the faceoff after Crone's third goal, and there were many people that still had the hats on the top of their heads. So I'm not sure any of them got thrown on the ice. And oddly enough, the last couple times at Maverick Center that a Grizzly player had a hat trick, there weren't many hats being thrown on the ice. So if you come to a hockey game and you sit close enough to where you can toss your hat on the ice, I would encourage you to do so, but I would also encourage you to make sure to bring one of those old dad hats that you've had for 10 years that you wouldn't mind parting ways with. Now, after the game, a lot of teams, you can find a way to get your hat back. But it's just one of those things. Hat tricks are a tradition, but it looks like the tradition wasn't exactly, being shown over in Allen, Texas. But nevertheless, Hank Crone, who it's not really surprising because he can score in bunches. You talk about a guy that's got great hands, and he was the league MVP in the 2022-23 season. That year, Crone, in 69 games for the Americans, had 49 goals and 56 assists. Oddly enough, though, in 11 playoff games in 2023, he just had 1 goal and 7 assists. So he was shut down in the postseason. 2 years ago, in 40 games with Allen, he had 17 goals. And last year, he played with 2 different teams in this league. He had 15 goals in 48 games for Idaho. And then he was traded to the Norfolk Admirals, where he had 4 goals in 7 regular season games and 1 goal in 11 games in the playoffs. So Hank Crone has all 3 of Allen's goals, and Utah's looking for a third period comeback. And we'll see if Utah can find a way to get the job done on the power play, as they will be on the man advantage for the first minute and 13 of the third period, as Jackson Decker got a holding minor, 19-12 into the second. They haven't counted attendance so far at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, but there's a ton of kids in attendance. They're playing hooky as the Grizzlies are playing hockey with the Allen Americans. It's one of 2 games in the league. The other one is headed for overtime. Bloomington gets 2 unanswered third period goals. Former Tulsa captain Eddie Matsushima and Mack have the Bloomington goals. One of the other goal for Bloomington that was scored in the second period was by former American Mikhail Robidoux. So that one's headed to overtime. Bloomington has outshot Toledo 34-21. So that game is played over at Huntington Center in Toledo. It's one of 7 games in the league tonight. Getting underway at 5 o'clock, South Carolina is at Jacksonville. Wheeling and their 14-3-1 record is at Reading. Iowa is at Kansas City, and the Mavericks have been one of the best teams in the Mountain Division with an 11-6 record. At 7 o'clock, Trois-Rivières takes on Idaho. It's kind of odd when you don't have to play every other team in the league that Trois-Rivières makes a trip all the way to the Mountain Time Zone to take on the Idaho Steelheads. And getting underway at 8 o'clock, the Rapid City Rush are at State Line, Nevada, as they take on Jackson Hibbard and the Tahoe Night Monsters. Hibbard, the first-year equipment manager of the Tahoe Night Monsters. He spent the last 2 years as head equipment manager with the Grizzlies, and before that was assistant equipment manager for a few years. So that's the action across this league, and we'll see if the Grizzlies have a third-period comeback in them. They certainly are going to need it, but they're going to have to find a way to create some traffic out in front of the net against David Tendek. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but really with Tendek, it seems like if he can see it, he can stop it today. We talked about yesterday when he was on a roll, on Saturday, which kind of feels like yesterday, the Grizzlies' last game at Maverick Center. The way the Grizzlies scored that game winner, Luke Manning took a shot. Actually, it was Neil Shea that took the shot. Manning was towards the front of the net as well. And the Grizzlies put together a little bit of a screen. It bounced off of Tendek on kind of a rare rebound, and Lepster got the rebound and put it away. He was close enough to that they had to go to video replay. Allen believes that there was goaltender interference. And really, if you're the Grizzlies, you're going to have to be on the borderline. Either get goaltender interference or be pretty close to it, because you're going to have to create that traffic. You're going to have to create those screens in front, because against a guy like Tendek, that's going to be how you're going to have to score. You're going to have to score kind of a playoff type of goal. You're going to have to find a way to get a lucky bounce. And the way you can get a lucky bounce out in front of the net is to create traffic, create bodies out there. And for the Grizzlies, they just have to find a way to pay the price out in front of the net. And if they do that, they can find a way to get a couple third period goals and climb back into this thing. But they got to find a way to just control the action and see if they can get that traffic out in front of David Tendek, because it looks like the Allen goaltender is on a pretty good hot streak. And he played pretty well on Saturday, stopping 42 of 45. Grizzlies certainly had to earn the 2 standings points against him. It looks like Utah's going to have to earn it here tonight. Tonight meaning, what is it, 11:13 here a.m. in the Mountain Time Zone, 12:13 p.m. over in Allen, Texas. So that's how the Grizzlies are going to, if they want to find a way to climb back into it, that's the formula for success. We'll see if the Grizzlies have it in them in this third period. It's the 4th of 6 straight meetings between the clubs. Allen won by identical 4-2 scores on Wednesday and Friday of last week, and then the Grizzlies obviously with a 3-2 victory. Don't forget, these same teams will meet on Friday and Saturday nights. Face-off both evenings will be at 6:10 in the Mountain Time Zone. And then the Grizzlies next week will return to Maverick Center for a 3-game series against Guy Carenza and Jared Youngman's Atlanta Gladiators. We want to see a big crowd for Teddy Bear Toss. That's going to be Saturday, December 13th. And remember, the Grizzlies last year broke a team record. In fact, Utah over the last 2 years has broken a team record in terms of the Teddy Bear Toss. 5,393 Teddy Bears were thrown last season. Remember, Utah got a big victory against the Tahoe Night Monsters. And we want to see that number, I wouldn't say doubled, but we want to certainly surpass that big total of Teddy Bears on Saturday, December 13th. Make sure to get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. Bring a bag full of Teddy Bears. In fact, bring 2 bags full of Teddy Bears. we want to see a huge number on the Maverick Center ice after Utah's first goal. That's going to be Saturday, December 13th against the Atlanta Gladiators. We'll talk about that, obviously, rolling up towards the game, which is going to be 10 days from now. Obviously, Utah's got a few games between now and then. But the Teddy Bear Toss is certainly one of hockey's fun and great traditions, and we want to make sure the Utah Grizzlies do the tradition proud, and we want to toss plenty of teddy bears after Utah's first goal against the tough Atlanta Gladiators, who are off to a pretty good start. In fact, Atlanta is 12-4 on the season. When we come back, we'll preview the NHL games tonight as Allen leads 3-1 after 40 minutes of play, as Hank Crone has 3 goals. Jack Ricketts with the first period goal for Utah. He extended his point-scoring streak to 5 games. And we'll see if Utah can find a way to convert on the power play early in the third period and climb back into this one. As it's the first of 3 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center this week. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
There's a handful of games in the National Hockey League tonight. Believe it or not, there's not a single NHL game that's being played this morning. What a concept it is. You could have 19,000 kids over at an NHL game, but nevertheless, there will be 4 games, actually 5 games in the National Hockey League. Math is hard sometimes. At 5 o'clock, the Dallas Stars are on the road taking on the New Jersey Devils. And it's certainly disappointing for the people in the traveling party for the Grizzlies that the Stars are on the road, as Dallas is really only, rush hour traffic is certainly one thing, but you can get from Allen to Dallas. The traffic's not a big factor in, 20 to 25 minutes or so. That's a rematch of the 2000 Stanley Cup Finals where the Devils won in 6 games, and that's going to be at 5 o'clock. Stars are at the Devils. At 5:30, Jets are at the Canadians, and also at 5:30 on national TV, Sabres are at the Flyers. Flyers are off to a good start this year at 14-8-3. At 8 o'clock, the Capitals are at the Sharks. And also at 8 o'clock on national TV, the Mammoth take on the Ducks. Mammoth are 12-12-3 on the season, but they've struggled a little bit as of late. Ducks are 16-9-1. And I'm kind of reminded of what Jerry Sloan used to always say, and he would say it constantly after games. And this kind of applies to the Utah Mammoth now. Jerry Sloan would say you can't go around feeling sorry for yourself. You just have to keep digging, keep battling. And that's really what the Mammoth have in store for them here tonight. They are in a little bit of a losing skid, and they have had a tough time playing good hockey, but really for the Mammoth, they just have to find a way to keep digging. And as Jerry Sloan used to say, you can't go around feeling sorry for yourself. So we'll see if the Mammoth, who came within about, 4 seconds of getting a victory against the Anaheim Ducks a couple weeks ago on the road, we'll see if the Mammoth can get off the schneid and get back in the win column. They take on the Anaheim Ducks on national TV. And how about Logan Cooley? He's got 14 goals this season. Clayton Keller leads the Mammoth with 14 assists. We're certainly thinking about the Keller family, as unfortunately Clayton Keller unexpectedly lost his father a few days ago. Karel Vejmelka has 10 victories in net for the Mammoth. And the Mammoth take on the Anaheim Ducks, who at one point were an affiliate of the Utah Grizzlies. And that was back, it was probably about a 5 or 6 year stretch there, ending with the last season of the Grizzlies affiliation with the Ducks being the 2017-2018 season. Utah is currently in their 8th year as an affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche. Now about Colorado. They've just lost once in regulation all season. As Colorado, if they could just figure out overtime, and they had a tough stretch there where they were losing overtime games, but the Avalanche have been on an absolute tear. They're 19-1-6 on the season. They're 11-0-2 at home, and they are 9-0-1 in in their last 10 games. The Avalanche won 2 in a row, and what a run that they've had. They are certainly Stanley Cup contenders. They are in first place in the Central Division with 44 standings points. In second place in the Western Conference is the Dallas Stars, who have a record of 17-5-5. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. Stars are going to be at the Devils. Avalanche do not play tonight. Yesterday, they got a big victory against the Vancouver Canucks. That was a 3-1 final. Next game for the Avalanche will be on Thursday night. They will be on the road to take on the New York Islanders. When we come back, we'll have third period action on the other side as the lights are out over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, and some people have their phone lights on, and they're swaying them back and forth. Looks like everybody's having a good time. We'll see if the Grizzlies can get something on their power play. Remember, Utah's on the man advantage for the first minute and 13 seconds of the third period. You've been tuned into the second intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Are about set for third period action as the lights are still off at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Some key performers for the Grizzlies so far. Sage Weinstein has 1 shot and he's a +1. His line mate Christian Felton has 3 shots and he's a +1. And Felton had an NHL contract last year with the Vancouver Canucks, and Weinstein is currently on an NHL deal with the Colorado Avalanche, and Weinstein's really showing why over the last handful of games. He's a +3 in his last 6 games. He's playing with a lot of confidence. Weinstein and Felton are certainly playing pretty well. They're making quick decisions with the puck. They're making good decisions. They're playing physical at times when they need to, and they've created some good scoring chances for the Grizzlies here this morning. And whatever forward line is lined up with those two, they seem to be playing well as well. So great to see Weinstein and Felton. They're doing a great job. And really the Grizzlies coming into this season, they had a lot of defensive depth, but due to the trade of Garrett Pike in an American League deal, which is something the Grizzlies had no control over, and injuries to Connor Kelly and Noah Gansky, Avery Winslow's back for the first time since October 24th. Grizzlies are kind of cycling him on and off, even though the Grizzlies do have 7 defensemen. I haven't seen Winslow a ton there. Didn't see him much in the second period as he tries to round himself back into game shape. The Grizzlies have had to be tested defensively with their depth, and they're really holding strong. We'll see if the Grizzlies can get something on David Tendek in the third period. As Jackson Decker's in the box for Allen. 2-minute holding minor. Utah's on the power play for the first minute 13 of the third. For the Grizzlies, watch out for Neil Shea. He has 4 shots. Jack Ricketts, 1 goal on 3 shots. Luke Manning, 3 shots. He's played some solid hockey so far. To start the third period, it's going to be Luke Manning with Jack Ricketts, Neil Shea. We believe Reed Lebster and Aiden Hansen-Bukata are also on the ice. That's a party of 5 for Utah. Manning will take the draw against Colby McCauley. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see it on Flow Sports. Utah wins the draw. It goes past Lebster. Hansen-Bukata deep in the Grizzlies zone gets it. He'll bank it off the boards for Lebster. As the Grizzlies start the attack, Lebster over to Hansen-Bukata, who has 5 power play assists this season. Ahead to Ricketts off his skate. Taking the puck is Anania. As the Americans on their fresh sheet of ice will sail it all the way towards Kyle Kaiser. Kaiser lets it go, and Hansen-Bukata gets it. AHB, the RIT, and Ohio State product gets the neutralized, fakes behind him. As Hansen-Bukata will pitch it back, the Grizzlies skate over the offensive line, skating down the middle. Ricketts, he tried to split a double team, lost control of the puck. Allen throws it up but not out. Hansen-Bukata skates in. Now Manning over to Shea, left side. His lefty shot goes wide. He missed the net glove side on Tendek. Tendek's glove side is his right. As Utah gets up top, 22 seconds left in the power play. As Shea skates towards the left circle, he'll feed it to Manning behind Allen's net. Manning over to the right side. Lepster shot, and it goes over the crossbar. Puck stays in play. As Ricketts left side, his lefty shot, and that one's sticked away by Tendek. Lepster over in the right wing, gets it across. Shea left side. I tried to find Manning out in front, and that one's sticked away by Tendek. And the puck is cleared out to center ice, and coming out of the box is Decker. And immediately out of the box, Decker throws down Shea, and the Americans get the puck deep in their own zone. As Allen spreads the ice, Grizzlies get a 5-man unit. Griffin Ness and Danny Genev lead the way. Ness stands in front of Tendek. The Americans outlet it to the left wing. Allen will pitch it into Utah ice. Christian Felton gets it, does a half circle, and he'll slide it ahead. As towards the right wing, Genev chases after it. Warmoth gets there first. Warmoth wraps it around the boards. Grizzlies fire towards the net, saved by Tendek. Shot was taken from the left wing. Allen tattoos the puck off the glass. As Gildon moves it ahead, Utah back up with it at their blue line. Felton ahead towards Genev off his stick on a one-time tap. Ness races after the puck in the left corner deep in the Allen zone. As Timofeyev collides now, Ness swings and misses. Genev didn't have enough room to get a shot off, and the Americans clear it up but not out. Left point, Grizzlies with a lefty shot, and it goes wide. As Ness over in the right wing, skates around Allen's net, trying to pitch it out in front to Timofeyev. It's knifed away by the Americans. Allen nudges it ahead. Felton keeps it in right side, trying to get towards Timofeyev off his stick. As now a battle in front of Tendek. And the Grizzlies score! Utah filled down. Timofeyev's in the area. He starts the celebration, and the Grizzlies get on the board with 17:33 left in the third. Boy, Allen can't believe it, but the Grizzlies just kept hustling and kept battling in front of the crease. Stepan Timofeyev gets his 5th of the year and 4th as a Grizzly. Allen argues the case, and they might go to video replay. Well, the puck was just laying there. Timofeyev dove in the crease, and the puck crossed the goal line. Referee Tyler Spott was in the area. They're going to take an extra look at this one. As puck was just laying in the crease, in the paint, and then Timofeyev dove towards the puck. And as he dove, an American was out there with him, and then the puck ended up crossing the goal line. So it looks like they're taking an extra look at it, video replay, to figure out if Timofeyev scored it cleanly or not. So right now it's a 3-2 game. And the forward line that at times have been brilliant. Timofeyev, Ness, and Genev just kept battling in front of the net, and they just kept forcing their way in. Hard-working shift by that 3-man unit. And that leads to a goal. And they're taking a look at it. So right now it's 3-2, Allen in front. There's a lot of fans having a good time. And even though the Grizzlies didn't get any goals on that power play, they didn't score on the power play to start the third period. Utah did establish a little bit of offense's own time. Grizzlies going to have to be a little bit aggressive here in the third period. They've taken the first 3 shots of the frame. Utah's up to 30 shots. Allen's taking 19. So right now it's a 3-2 game as Timofeyev would get his 5th of the year and 4th as a Grizzly. I got to imagine Genev and Ness would factor in on the goals as well as they were on the ice. And as we mentioned, a hard-working shift by that 3-man unit. Timofeyev certainly been a strong addition to the Grizzlies. He came over in a trade for the rights to Dante Sheriff. Sheriff is currently playing with Greenville, and that's where Timofeyev started the season. Timofeyev had 1 goal in 3 games for Greenville, and this is his 12th game as a Grizzly. So it looks like this replay is taking quite a bit of time. 17:33 is left in the third. Griffin Ness played in the USHL with the Waterloo Blackhawks. Ness played his college hockey at the University of North Dakota for 4 seasons from 2020 through 2024 and got his feet wet in pro hockey with 2 games at the end of the 2023-24 season with Maine. Last year, he played in a total of 73 games in this league, 59 with Toledo and 14 with Utah. Ness has done some great things with and without the puck. He's played a physical brand of hockey, and it seems like every time he's out there, it's a hardworking shift. And, you know, he mentioned it during the media day session that we had before the regular season. He wanted an identity of being a hardworking team, and the Grizzlies certainly have been that. A team that's hard to play against, and Ness has certainly been part of the charge that's led the Grizzlies to kind of establishing that brand of hockey. They continue to take a good long look to make sure that the Timofeyev goal was clean. And there really wasn't, based on the one replay we saw, there really wasn't anything that would say that it wasn't a goal. They took the goal away. The scoreboard changed from a 2 to a 1. So apparently no goal. And now referee's going to talk with John Buchanan, the Grizzlies head coach. They took the goal away. It's now 3-1. So we're not sure why it was disallowed. Maybe Timofeyev just kind of brushed it with his glove towards the net. We really don't know, but it looks like the goal's been taken away, and it's 3-1. They show a replay. Timofeyev dove there was a loose puck. Then the puck crossed the goal line, or did it? Well, it looked like Tendek kind of had it pinned, and that might just be it. The referee thought the puck crossed the goal line, but apparently it didn't. Based on that one replay that we saw, certainly tough to spot where the puck was. So the score is Allen 3, Utah 1. The goal was disallowed, and it could be a couple different things as to why the goal was disallowed. It's possible it didn't cross the goal line. Certainly looked like it was debatable on the replay that we saw from behind the net. Action behind Kaiser as it's a 3-1 game. Hanson Bukata, he gets lumbered in the back. He's slow to get up. Right side, Allen shot, saved by Kaiser. As Hanson Bukata, he's leaning, sticks on knee, as Hanson Bukata is going to be asked out. He looked like he got some lumber and got hit from behind Kaiser's net. Hargrove back behind Allen's net. He's a co-captain of the Americans, Hargrove and Asachuk. Hargrove was questionable coming into this morning's game. There was some doubt as to whether he would play, but he's out there as he dropped it off. As the Americans back behind their net, they're very patient with their approach. Allen will tap it off the top of the glass, near side, as Griffin Ness battles, as Simmons Fisher boxes out Ness for the puck. Allen globes it into the Grizzlies zone. Luke Salem gets it ahead left side, as Salem in the area, make that John Gillette. Ness over with Utah, but the Americans, Anania, rink wide feed, angle right, goes tape to tape to Watts. Braden Watts, the former Wichita Thunder skater, looked for a centering pass for Blaisdell. It goes wide. Blaisdell didn't have enough room to get a stick lifted to make the play. Now Allen back towards the right side. Asachuk shot, and that's blocked. Kabori Dunn clears it off the near wing glass. Chasing after a loose puck is Griffin Ness. He skates towards the right corner, gets pinned to the wall by Sedley. As Gillette gets nudged in the back, Allen comes back with the puck. They'll slide it out in front dangerously as it goes towards the left corner. Sedley gets hit by Ness. As the Americans get the puck, they slow things down. Anania will stop behind his goaltender as the Americans make a line change, and I believe the Grizzlies off the screen did so as well. 4.5 minutes into the third period, Allen still leads 3-1 as the goal was disallowed that would have been credited to Timofeyev. Allen, rink-wide feed, goes incomplete, icing on the Americans. 15:27 left in the third as they spotlight Hank Crone on Flow Sports, and he's got all three of the Americans' goals. 1:11:35 into the first period, and then 2 goals in the second. Thomas Cron has a couple of assists this morning, as Cron assisted in each of Crone's first 2 goals. Utah wins the draw as behind the net, Lepster dances around. He gets held up by Quinn Warmoth, who's a big 6'4", 219-pound defenseman. Allen will race towards the near corner. Grizzlies with a pretty good hit as Manning gets dragged down by Decker, and the Americans clear it all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. It's going to be icing once again. 15:06 is left in the third. So it looked like Manning got tripped up, and he collided with Michael Gildon. So the Grizzlies will have another offensive zone draw. So they're looking to find a way to climb back into this game. Don't forget, next week, the Grizzlies have a 3-game series against the Atlanta Gladiators next Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday nights. And we can say this, the only game all year we can say this, operators are sitting by as we speak. They're ready to take your call. Grizzlies win the draw left side, shots blocked by Tendek. Now the Grizzlies towards the left wing. Lepster dances around. He feeds it trying to feed it towards the goal line, and Allen takes it away. Americans cross center ice, they dump it in. Weinstein races after he gets the loose puck behind Kaiser's net as Felton will tap it ahead. As the Grizzlies out towards center ice, Weinstein globes it in. Puck ricochets off the right corner boards. As Ladon takes the puck, he normally wears number 14, but he's 25 today. Second stint with the Americans. As Genev toe drag towards the middle of the ice, Allen took it away. The Americans will bounce one off of Genev's stick. Allen crosses center ice. McCauley will pitch it into the right corner. Kaiser stays in front of his net as the Americans skate around Kaiser's net. They look for a centering pass to McCauley. It's off of Genev's stick. As McCauley hustles after the loose puck, gets to Caddick, who gets held up by Winslow as Utah takes it away. Timofeyev races to neutralize. He'll move it across. Grizzlies enter as Enns will drop it to his left. Now the Grizzlies back to the right corner off the wall to Ness. He'll feed it back up top. As Winslow dancing around, and he gets knocked to the ice. Allen will move it ahead. As towards the Utah line, Hargrove gets cut off by Enns. Winslow gets the idle puck, and he'll race out to neutralize. Winslow steps over the offense line, gets to Timofeyev down the middle, take a righty shot. And a save by Tendek. 13:40, it was a glove save as Tendek holds the puck about waist high. Allen leads Utah 3-1. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
13 minutes and 40 seconds are left in the third period. Allen leads 3-1. Make sure to get your tickets next week for the Grizzlies' 3-game set against the Atlanta Gladiators. I'm Tyson Whiting. Make sure to see the Grizzlies on Saturday, December 13th for Teddy Bear Toss. That's going to be a ton of fun. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. And this is the only game we can say this live as the game's progressing. Operators are sitting by ready to take your call for Grizzlies tickets. You can talk with Cam Levy. You can talk cornhole with Cam Levy. He's also the fantasy football commissioner of the Office League. As we're back to live action, Grizzlies off the draw. Shot is blocked as it goes towards the right corner deep in the American zone. Jack Ricketts, who has Utah's lone goalie, scored 9:59 into the first period. Grizzlies feed it up top. Salem fires towards the net. It goes wide. Barbashev in the area as the Americans race out to center ice. As Allen crosses center, 2-on-3, they'll pitch it in. Kaiser stays in front of his net. As Dunn gets some lumber in the back, he gets pushed along the glass. Barbashev looking nearby. Grizzlies deliver some lumber, 2 cross checks, and since it doesn't seem like the referee is going to call any cross checks, both teams are really taking advantage of that, and they've been delivering a lot of wood towards the backup players. As Ricketts fires towards the net, and it's blocked about 5 feet in front of Tendek's crease. The Americans sky it out. As Weinstein, he gets the puck. Grizzlies switch up forwards. Weinstein a +1 tonight and a +4 in his last 7 games. Felton negotiates his way around one American. Bounces one towards Friesen. Friesen couldn't calm down the puck as it goes towards the left corner. 2-on-2 battle. Friesen and another Grizzly. Once again, some more cross checks to the back. Gillette comes out with a puck. Gillette tries to feed it to Timofeyev. It's knifed away by Ladon. Back towards Gillette. He'll backhand it up top. As the Grizzlies fire towards the net, Allen takes it away. Americans throw it to the Utah line. Weinstein accepts it as Grizzlies will chip it off the boards. Utah with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen this morning. Gillette gets hit as Timofeyev tried to step over the offense line. Allen took it away. Weinstein will wing it around the boards as Allen's Trevor Ladon, number 25. He'll curl the puck and sky it all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. Sliding puck all the way towards Utah's backboard as Colby ends out there with Winslow. Ends back to Winslow, who gets hit along the left shoulder as the Americans. And now the puck goes back to center ice. Allen races. Tendek cuts off the puck as the Americans will dump it in. Decker will come off the ice for a change. Winslow will pitch it back around the wall as it goes to the near side. Action still in the Grizzlies zone. As Colby Enns will race out to center ice. He scored his first pro goal last Saturday against Allen. Game at Maverick Center. Utah won 3-2. A Grizzly gets dragged down. That's going to be a penalty. As Luke Manning was going after a loose puck in the right side, he got thrown to the ice by Danny Caddick. Caddick laughs, but he's going to get 2 minutes. So Utah gets a power play with 11:19 left in the third. Caddick gets his 3rd minor penalty of the season. It's his 7th game with the Americans. He also has some time this season with the AHL's Belleville Senators. Operators are sitting by. If you talk to either Victoria or William, make sure to consult them a little bit. They are fans of the South Carolina Gamecocks. They had a tough loss last Saturday against their rivals, the Clemson Tigers. If you talk to Flocka, to call for Grizzlies tickets, congratulate her on being the Sells Rookie of the Year. You could talk to Dylan Becker and ask him about his time at Bishop Gorman High School. Yeah, he went to that famous high school in Las Vegas. Didn't play football, though. He was a swimmer. Grizzlies win the draw. Shot is blocked by Ricketts as he gets a piece of it, and the Americans get it and clear it out. Important power play for the Grizzlies as Allen leads 3-1. And if you talk to Alina, she can certainly help you with all your ticket needs as well. Alina, I think, just got engaged a couple weeks ago, so congratulations to her. People in the Grizzlies office are ready and willing and able to take your calls this morning for Grizzlies tickets for the next week's series against the Atlanta Gladiators. As Grizzlies continue their battle with Allen, and the Americans slice it all the way back deep in the Grizzlies zone. 1:25 left in the power play. As Christian Felton skates to the middle of the ice, he'll pitch to his left. Grizzlies skate over the offense line and spin it along the boards. Utah gets it back towards the right point, but Felton wasn't home. Felton gets the puck skating back into the Grizzlies zone. He'll tap it off the boards, and it goes past Manning and all the way down. No, all look like icing might be called on the Grizzlies with 1:08 left in the power play. As Felton tried to get to Manning and ricocheted off the boards, and Allen being back defensively was able to get the icing call. So draw comes back towards Kyle Kaiser with 10:27 left in the third. The Allen bench very calm. They've got a 3-1 lead. Specifically, Hank Crone has a 3-1 lead. He has all three of the Americans' goals. And off the draw, McCauley tried to fire towards the net and it went over Kaiser. As Grizzlies on the power play for the next minute, Utah takes control. Neil Shea's on the ice. He gets the puck. He'll drop it back behind his net for Christian Felton, who skates around Kaiser's net. Felton dances around the middle of the ice. The Merrimack product. He'll tap it back to Ness. As Ness to the left wing, steps over the offensive line. He'll drop it off to Genev. Across to Shea, right wing. Shea trying to get to the middle of the ice for Freeze, and it's sticked away by the Americans, and they slice it all the way towards Kaiser. About 35 seconds left in Utah's power play. We're halfway through the third period. Nobody has scored here in the final frame, and the Americans are okay with that as they're nursing a 2-goal lead. Back towards the right side, Grizzlies over the offensive line late in the power play. Griffin Ness in the right wing dangling back and forth as he'll drop it to Genev now up top. Luke Salem gets it back to Genev just outside the right circle as he tried to feather one across and it glanced off a stick. Grizzlies get it back up top. Salem to Genev, right side. He'll take a lefty shot. Glove saved by Tendek. And he holds on Griffin Ness net front, trying to act as a screen or redirect it. And that's certainly what the Grizzlies are going to have to do against Genev or against Tendek. And we talked about that during the second intermission. We really talked about it on Saturday's game. Tendek, it seems like if he can see it, he's going to stop it. So the Grizzlies are going to have to find a way to get some screens and get all up in his business. You pretty much have to risk getting a goaltender interference call against you. That's how close you're going to have to be against Tendek if you want to score against him. 10 seconds left in the power play, and it looks like Utah's got a line reminiscent of 5-on-5 play. Genev up top, shot by Timofeyev's block. So the Grizzlies do have 4 forwards on the ice as Caddick's coming out of the box right now as Tendek makes a save. There's 9:18 left in the third. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw when we come back. Jack Ricketts scored 9:59 into the first period, and Hank Crone responded with 3 unanswered. And is there a timeout, though? We are under 10. But it looks like we're going to play on as Colby McCauley. He's been with the Allen Americans for quite a while. Now it looks like we got a timeout. Allen leads Utah 3-1. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Looks like everybody's having a good time as Allen leads 3-1. At least they're having a good time over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Make sure to get your tickets for next week as the Grizzlies take on the Atlanta Gladiators December 10th, 12th, and 13th. Tickets are available at utahgrizzlies.com or by calling 801-988-8000. That's 801-988-8000. And based on the dance, it looks like they're doing the Macarena. It looks like the hat trick tradition has died off as we didn't see any hats thrown on the ice after Hank Kroen's turned goal, but it looks like the Macarena tradition's alive and well. Puck is lifted after Allen won the faceoff, and they throw it to the middle of the ice. It's cut off, and the Americans are offside with 9:10 left in the third. And it looks like we get some pushing and shoving as Barbashev and McCauley, the two number 92s, have to be separated by the linesmen. And we'll see if cooler heads prevail. We'll see if any penalties get called. As one of the linesmen pats McCauley in the back. Barbashev and McCauley are split up. I think Barbashev's going to get a penalty, though. Can't get the signal from referee Tyler Spott, but it looks like Barbashev gets a 2-minute penalty. And so Allen will get a power play with 9:10 left in the third. So it's going to be the Americans' third power play of the game. Neither team scored a power play goal so far this morning. I guess we're now towards the afternoon portion. Attendance over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center is 6,112. 61-12. Allen's on the power play. Utah does have two shorthanded goals this season. Both of them have been scored by Reed Webster. So it looks like Christian Felton's going to take the draw. And I got to ask John Buchanan, there's been a few instances on a penalty kill where defensemen have taken the draws. And there's got to be a method to it, but I got to ask John Buchanan next time I see him as to why that is. We've seen Salem on different occasions on a penalty kill take a draw in the defensive zone. And this one goes towards the left corner. Grizzlies end up winning the faceoff. Ends will slide it from one corner to the other. Gillette goes after the loose puck. It goes to Michael Gildon on the right wing. Across to Crone, who moves it back towards a high slot. Now back to Crone on the left side as Crone directs it back up top. Sedley over towards Gildon. One-timer, it goes wide. Grizzlies got to be a little bit aggressive here on the penalty kill. They trail 3-1. As Gildon across to Crone, left circle. He throws to the middle of the ice for Thomas Cron. As Cron gets spun around, he's able to get it to Asachuk. Now back up top, Sedley. Across to Crone. As Hank Crone will dangle with the puck now. He'll direct it back to Cron, back to Crone. Now up top, Sedley. Over to the right side, Gildon. One-timer, it goes wide. Puck slides towards the left point, kept in by Crone, who's got great hands. Sedley over to Cron, left side. He tried to find Asachuk out in front. Pass went past him. Now Crone, left wing. One-timer, saved by, actually it was more of a slap shot than a one-timer, saved by Kaiser. Sedley moves it across. Allen's had plenty of offensive zone time. They get to the middle of the ice. Now left wing, Cron around Utah's net to the far side as Cron chips up top. Gildon dances around. He'll move to his right as the Americans will fire towards the net, and Kaiser makes a save. Boy, big Spencer Asachuk was out in front of the crease. Felton was occupying Asachuk. Shot from the right side was gloved by Kyle Kaiser. That stops play with 45 seconds left in Allen's power play and 7:54 left in regulation. So both teams will switch up skaters. Boy, Allen had plenty of offensive zone time there on that shift. Manning's on the ice. He's out there with Webster, Salem, and Sage Weinstein. That's the four tires on the ice for Utah's penalty kill. Hargrove kicked out of the faceoff circle. Caddick will take the draw against Utah's Luke Manning. Manning crouches down low. And the draw won by Utah is Weinstein. Will throw it up and out as it goes over the head of an Allen American. As Tendek behind his net. He's towards the side of his net. We'll pitch it around his net towards the near side. 30 seconds left in Allen's power play. As the Americans get around Reed Webster. As Utah, a little bit aggressive at neutral ice. As an American went down. Weinstein delivers a hit. Hargrove gets spun around with Weinstein. No call either way. As the Americans towards the left wing. Braden Watts trying to feed it across. Glanced off a Grizzly stick back to Watts. Up top to Sedley. 5 seconds left in the power play to Hargrove. One-timer saved by Kaiser. Rebound shot saved by Kaiser. Second look was taken by Caddick, who had a power play goal on Saturday night in the Grizzlies' 3-2 victory. Out of the box is Barbashev. Allen's 0 for 3 on the power play. Siren pass shot saved by Kaiser as Hargrove is out in front getting a pass from Watts. Watts centers it. Picked off by Weinstein as a 20-year-old rookie with an NHL contract moves it ahead. Grizzlies get to Webster. Right side slap shot. Glove saved by Tendek. He holds on as Manning and an Allen American It looks like Colby McCauley. Now Manning just laughs. He knows that McCauley, you can get under McCauley's skin pretty easily, as Manning and McCauley kind of now another American gets after Manning a little bit. That was Sedley. That's one of the things after the whistle. If you got a guy that you can bother a little bit, because you know that McCauley can get a little bit hot under the collar, and Manning kind of knew it, and he gave him a little bit of a nudge. You knew that he was going to get a reaction from McCauley. I think that what Manning was hoping for is that McCauley would lose his cool and get a roughing minor and get Utah another power play. It's Allen 3, Utah 1. It's the Americans bench. They're a much improved defensive team from last season. Now McCauley's having some words for the Grizzlies bench. McCauley had a Gordie Howe hat trick a few years ago against Utah, as he's having some words with Luke Manning. As draws over in the right circle, linesman says, "My bad, we'll do it again." Jack Ricketts is out there with Filion and Barbashev. Face-off now won by Allen. There's less than 7 minutes left in regulation. The first of 3 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center this week. As the Americans gain the offensive line. As puck over towards the left corner, Barbashev takes it. Barbashev is a pretty good-sized guy at 6'2" and 190 pounds. As Ricketts tried to gain the offensive zone, and he got cut off by Decker. As the Americans will slide it out to center ice, 2-on-2. Blaisdell moves to his right. Now back to Blaisdell, who tried to get it back to the Americans on the give and go, and Utah took it away. Grizzlies will globe it into Allen ice. It's gloved and dropped by the Americans, who will pitch it back to center ice. Allen over the offensive line as they were skating in. Cron lost it, and Felton took over the play. There's about 6 minutes left in the third period. We'll see if the Grizzlies get aggressive here and climb back into it, as Allen's got a 2-goal lead. Timofeyev tried to brush it ahead and swung and missed. Puck near the Allen bench. As Gildon gets it ahead to Cron, 2-on-1. Cron right side, gets it back towards Crone, but it bounced over Crone's stick. He couldn't collect it cleanly. Crone loses control of the puck. He's already got 3 goals this morning. As Felton gets around Crone, as Felton moves it rink-wide feed angle left. Goes tape to tape now. Timofeyev trying to get in front of Felton. Passes over lead for him. Grizzlies throw it in front of the crease, and nobody was home. Allen throws it up, and Felton had a glance off his stick. Puck exited the zone, came back in. Offside of the Grizzlies with 5:24 left in the third period. Allen leads 3-1. We'll see if the Grizzlies have a comeback bid on them on the other side. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
5 minutes, 24 seconds left in the third period. Allen leads Utah 3-1. Grizzlies have outshot the Americans 9-3 in the third period and 36-24 for the contest. Allen averages 36.9 shots allowed per game, so that's about right on average. So Grizzlies, by the end of this thing, could be pretty close to 40 shots. Utah wins the neutral zone draw. Dunn fires it in on towards David Tendek. It was saved 35 of 36. He's got to be one of the big stars of the game. Allen gains the offense line. They'll dump it into the left corner. Puck slides off the corner towards the middle of the ice where Kaiser covers up. He stops play with 5:08 left in the third. The number one star, regardless of what happens to Tendek, is Hank Crone. He has 3 goals this afternoon. Jack Ricketts gave Utah a 1-0 lead. He scored 9:59 in with Barbashev getting the assist. And then it's been the Hank Crone show. He scored 11:35 into the first, and then he scored 2 second-period goals, one 34 seconds in, and the other 16:36 in to complete the hat trick. Among Grizzlies shooters, Neil Shea leads the way with 5. Grizzlies win the draw. Timofeyev crosses center ice. He fires onto Tendek, And it bounced off a 10 deck, who drops it, and he'll outlet it to the far side. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the third period. Puck bounces. Allen gets the loose puck, and they'll move it ahead to Grizzlies ice. It goes past McCauley as Luke Salem in the area. As McCauley tried to light up Salem, and McCauley got nothing but boards. Left wing, shot by Ananias, saved by Kaiser. Now up top, Sedley feeds to the right corner. Hargrove shields Ness from the puck. Hargrove moves it across. Ananias all alone. Skates towards the left circle. Lefty shot, kick saved by Kaiser. And he covers up as Kaiser did the splits in front of the crease. Boy, he's agile and quick. Anania not only made a pretty good shot, but Kaiser denied him, and puck just kind of laid in the crease, and Kaiser was able to cover up with 4:31 left in regulation. Make sure to get your tickets for next week's series against the Atlanta Gladiators. Operators are sitting by as we speak, assuming they're not on their lunch break. You can talk with Victoria or William, and make sure to consult them and cheer them up after South Carolina lost to Clemson. You can talk with Cam Levy or Dylan Becker. You can also talk with Flocka, or you can talk with Alina and get your ticket needs all covered with any of those six as they're hanging by the Grizzlies office. I'm certainly hoping I don't forget anybody. As puck's at center ice, I think we got 6 ticket people right now. As the Grizzlies back in their own zone. About 4 minutes left in regulation. I'm really hoping I don't forget anybody. I can't imagine I'd forget anybody. Dylan and Cam, you can't forget about them. They're University of Utah football fans. As Shea overskates the puck as action deep in the American zone. Manning gets thrown down. Lepster gets the puck. He'll skate towards the right corner. Now Lepster stops as he's near the right point. Fires a righty shot, and that's blocked. 10 deck goes down. Shea goes after a loose puck. He gets hit by Karan as Manning gets belted in the side by Decker. The Americans get it, and they will slice it out of play. That should be delay of game. That's going to be a Utah power play as Allen gave a fan a souvenir. And hopefully nobody's hurt with the puck. Quinn Warmoth and Jackson Decker were the defensive pairing. And that's going to be delay of game. And that's going to give Utah a power play with 3:35 left in the third. Thomas Karan was the one that gave somebody a frozen vulcanized rubber disc. He was in his own zone. It didn't bounce off the glass. And so Utah's going to get a power play. How aggressive? If you're John Buchanan, how aggressive are you in pulling your goaltender for an extra attacker? It's a 3-1 game. But this is a critical sequence and a golden opportunity for the Grizzlies with a power play. Utah's 0 for 3 on the man advantage so far this morning. We'll see if they can find a way to get on the board. You got to look for Shea and Lepster to maybe contribute and Luke Manning to maybe want to face off. And it looks like both teams are going to skate towards their bench area. And I got to think Utah's using their one timeout right here and right now. Steve Martinson, the Allen coach, he doesn't quite have a clipboard out, but it looks like he's going to talk with referee Tyler Spott. And it looked like it was just a clear delay of game. And with that, it looks like both teams are huddled up around their bench area. We didn't get to see the referee signal, but I got to imagine Utah's used their timeout. 3:35 left in the third. And after Jack Ricketts scored 9:59 into the first, Utah had a big shot advantage. Hank Cron scored 3 unanswered, and nobody has scored here so far in the third period. A lot of students having a good time. They're playing hooky from school as they watch the Grizzlies and Americans play hockey. Or if you're Utah and you find a way, you think about that forward line that got the game winner last Saturday. It was Manning, Shea, and Lepster. And with Utah using a timeout, you can have your guys about as fresh as they can be. Also watch out for Jack Ricketts in these situations. He seems to have come up with some big goals for the Grizzlies over the last month and a half. So it's going to be 6-on-5. Utah's net is empty. Smoke them if you got them. Same 5 that we've seen on normal power plays, and Barbashev's on the ice as well. 5 forwards and 1 defenseman. Manning wins the draw as the Grizzlies get it up top. Shea, one-timer, and that goes over 10 deck. It stays in play off the glass. Allen throws it up and not out. Left point, Lepster. He'll drop it off as the Grizzlies dance around. Shea over to the right wing gets the puck. He'll feed it back up top to Ricketts. Ricketts fires lefty shot, saved by 10 deck. Rebound left side. They bounce it off at 10 deck, and he covers up. Boy, the puck ended up towards the left goal line. Grizzlies had a pretty good look. They tried to bounce it off the side of 10 deck, but the former Arizona Coyotes draft pick was quick as a cat moving towards his right. He was able to cover up with 3:16 left in the third. 1:41 left in the power play as Thomas Cron got 2 minutes for delay of game. Colby McCauley will stare down Luke Manning. Those guys had some words for each other a few minutes ago. As linesman Michael Miggins will drop the puck. And he drops it. Utah wins the face-off. 2 wins on this power play for Manning. Shea shot, saved by Tendek. Action out in front. Shea will bounce it off an Allen stick. He'll feed it up top, right point. Christian Felton moves towards his left. He's in the high slot. Over to Shea, just outside the right circle. Shea gets to Manning. Manning across one-timer, and that one's blocked away. Lebster had the one-timer. He gets it back. Now up top to Felton. Felton pedals towards his right. Felton fires the righty shot into traffic and misses wide. Manning gets off the boards. He'll slide it along to the left wing. Lebster back to Manning, left goal line. He surveys, now gets it back to Lebster. 2:20 on a moving clock. Allen leads 3-1. Halfway through the power play. Manning across the Shea, right side shot saved by Tendek. Rebound goes to the left wing boards. Utah skates from left to right here in the period. Ricketts over to Manning. Manning dangles back and forth. Cyrus to Felton. His shot misses wide. Manning gets it off the wall. Now back to the far corner. Utah gets to the left circle. Lebster to Shea off his stick. Lebster corrals the loose puck, and he'll cycle it around. Lebster towards the left wing, gets it back behind the net. Manning dancing back and forth as he continues to survey. Now he gets to Shea in the right wing. Shea has it lift off the stick from an American, and that's Braden Watts. Puck will slide out to neutralize. First time it's slid to neutralize on this power play. Shea cycles it around the boards. Tendek cuts it out behind his net. Less than 2 minutes left in the third period. Utah's net is empty. Allen spins it off the stanchion and rolls back towards Tendek. And 12 seconds are left in the power play. Utah gets it up top. Salem moves to the left side as the Grizzlies switch skaters. Utah back towards the left wing. Now back up top to Salem. He'll nudge it to his right to Shea, who's on a double shift. Shea will skate towards the left circle. Out of the penalty box is Thomas Cron. 6-on-5. Utah's net's empty. 1:28 left in the third. Shea forces one in front to Lebster, who hacks away. Shot saved by Tendek. Puck slides towards the right corner. Utah pins Allen to the boards. Time is running out on Utah. 1:17 in. Scrum along the right corner. Ness trying to hack it away. So is Gillette. Puck up top. Salem will move it to his left. Grizzlies get it to the middle of the ice. A glance off a Frieson's stick. Ness over to the left corner. Cycles it back around. Gillette over to Ness. Or make that Shea. Shea banks into Genev off the wall. Now up top to Salem. Less than a minute left in regulation. 3-1 Allen. As Salem gets to the left side. One-timer. It goes wide. Shea gets it behind Allen's net. He'll skate towards the left side. Shea's been on the ice for an over 2-minute shift. He'll get to the left goal line. Grizzlies get across. Genev, lefty shot, and that one bounces off the side of the net. Genev over to Gillette. He's on the right side. Back to their left goal line for Shea. Shot and a score! Boy, Shea centered it, and Utah gets back on the board with 36 seconds left. And it looks like it's Neil Shea skating to the bench first. That would be his 5th goal of the year. Boy, Shea got the puck. He just bounced it off an American skate, and that's Sam Sedley off of Sedley into the back of the net. So it is Neil Shea getting his 5th of the year. He now has a point in 9 of his last 10 games, and this one's not over yet. 36.5 seconds are left in the third period. Allen leads 3-2. So Utah's net will stay empty with this center ice face-off. Shea's, that's the end of Shea's, I'd say, about 3-minute shift. That was an outstanding shift by Shea that led to the goal. He was out there for the entire power play and the about a minute portion at the end of that power play. We're skating 6-on-5 off the draw. Hargrove will bounce one in deep as Felton gets the puck. No icing, less than half a minute left. As the Grizzlies are looking for the tying goal. Felton, rink-wide feed down the middle of the ice off a Timofeyev stick. Grizzlies enter as Lebster drops it off. And now Manning, he battles over in the left corner. 15 seconds left. Big time hit delivered on Warmouth. Manning skates around Allen's net. Out to the right side. Lebster shot saved by Tendek. 8 seconds left. Manning up top to Timofeyev. Puck slides back to center ice. 4 seconds left. Grizzlies back at their own blue line. 2 seconds left, and now we'll do it. Utah runs out of time as Neil Shea scored to make it a 3-2 contest, but the Americans come away with the 2 standings points as everybody from the Allen side goes to congratulate David Tendek. Well, the Grizzlies battled towards the end. Shea with the goal, bouncing it off of Sedley made it interesting. His goal was assisted by Genev and Gillette, 19-23 in. But it's the Allen Americans that hold on for a 3-2 victory, as all 3 of the Americans' goals were scored by Hank Chrome, and David Tendek played a solid game in net. So the Americans have won 3 of the first 4 games in this extended 6-game 2-city series. Tendek saved 45 of 47. and he's the number 2 star. Number 1 star is Hank Crone, who scored all 3 of the Americans' goals. As the Grizzlies, if they would have had just one more minute, and maybe could have found a way to get that tying goal, but Utah just ran out of time at the end. Final score from Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It's the Allen Americans 3 and the Utah Grizzlies 2. Post-game show starts in 30 seconds on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Now the Allen Americans come through with a 3-2 victory. Grizzlies scored the first goal and the last goal of the game, but it's sandwiched in between was 3 Hank Crone goals. And I guess it's fitting on Kids Day that the guy wearing jersey number 6-7 is the number 1 star. Now the Grizzlies got off to a pretty fast start. They outshot Allen 10-3 at one point in the first period. Jack Ricketts scored his 8th of the year, converting on an Allen turnover. Maxim Barbashev with his 2nd assist as a Grizzly. Ricketts now has a point in 5 straight games. He has 8 points in his last 5 games. Hank Crone responded with his first of 3 goals, 11:35 into the first period, with Thomas Cron and Michael Gildon getting the assists. Score was tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play. Utah outshot Allen 17-10 for the period. Allen made it a 2-1 game as Crone scored 34 seconds in with Anania and Thomas Cron getting the assists. And then the Americans had an on-man break later in the second period as Hank Crone scored from the left wing as he called his own number. He was unassisted, 16:36 into the second, and that was his 3rd of the game, and that gave the Americans a 3-1 lead. In the third period, Utah outshot Allen 20-6, and the Grizzlies had a 47-25 edge in the shot count. They had plenty of good opportunities. Neil Shea had about a 3-minute shift. Thomas Cron got a delay of game minor. 16:25 in. Shea was on the ice for all 2 minutes of Utah's power play, and he stayed on the ice for the next 58 seconds after the power play. It was a 2-minute and 58-second shift by Neil Shea. He converted it with the goal. He was on the right side, tried to center it out in front. Puck bounced off of Sam Sedley, the talented Allen defenseman, and then it ended up in the back of the net. Shea now has 5 goals on the season, and he has a point in 9 of his last 10 games. John Gillette picked up his 3rd assist of the season, and Danny Genev got his 9th assist of the year. Genev is now tied with Hanson Bukata and Grattan for the club lead, as all 3 of them have 9 assists each. And with Jack Ricketts' goal, he extends Utah's point-scoring lead. He has 15 points on the year, and he has 8 goals, which ranks 2nd among the club, as Reed Lepster's got 9 goals on the year. Lepster led Utah with 8 shots, but was held off the scoring sheet. Neil Shea 1 goal on 7 shots. That means that Shea has 15 shots on goal in his last 2 games. Luke Manning, Jack Ricketts each had 4 shots. Stepan Timofeyev had 5 shots. Most of them came in the third period. Early in the third period, Timofeyev thought he had scored, and it was kind of tough to tell in the 2 replays as Timofeyev dove, and it was hard to see whether the puck ever crossed the goal line. Stendek was in the area trying to cut off Timofeyev. The goal was originally counted to make it a 3-2 game, but then it was taken off the board, and that made it that kept it a 3-1 game. And the Grizzlies had to play catch up that entire third period. Utah showed some good endurance trying to climb back into it, but just ran out of time at the end. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. 3rd star is Thomas Cron, who had 2 assists. He was a +2 and had 2 shots. Thomas Cron wearing number 11 for the Americans. He's the 3rd star of the game. 2nd star is David Tendek, who saved 45 of 47. 2nd straight outstanding game for Tendek. And he's the number 2 star. And the number 1 star goes to Hank Crone, who scored all 3 of the Americans' goals. Number 6-7 was a +3 and had 6 shots. 6 shots led the Americans. He had 6 of the 25 Allen shots, and Hank Crone is the number 1 star of the game. Now, just a tough one as the Grizzlies put together a pretty good battle. Some games you just get superstarred, and Hank Crone, a former league MVP, Just found a way early and often to find the scoring sheet, and he ends up as the number one star. He had all three of the Americans' goals. Otherwise, the Grizzlies put together a pretty good effort, especially considering this being a morning game. It's kind of tough to tell in these sort of situations whether it benefits the home team or the road team playing this early. Grizzlies had their chances, 47 shots, and it seemed like a lot of them were in front of Tendek. We talked about going into the third period, you're going to have to find a high volume of shots. You're going to have to get a lot of traffic out in front. Tendek played a solid game, and obviously the Grizzlies and Americans both have put an emphasis on improving defensively, and both clubs really have done a good job in doing so. It's just one of those things. When you get 2 goals, most nights it's just not going to be enough, especially in this league. And 3 is the magic number for the Grizzlies, as when they have scored 3 or more, they're 7-2 on the season. But when the Grizzlies have scored less than 3 goals, they are now 1-7-2 on the year. So for the Grizzlies, it's just a matter of getting to 3, and unfortunately, just ran out of time. Looking for that tying goal as Allen came away with a 3-2 victory. With the loss, the Grizzlies' record falls to 8-9-2 on the year. They are 6-4-1 on the road. And for the Americans, they're back to being a 500 club. They're 7-7-3 on the season. Well, I got a sense that both teams are certainly tired of seeing each other, but both teams are going to see each other 2 more times this week. Friday and Saturday nights, Grizzlies will be at Credit Union of Texas Event Center to take on the Americans. Face-off both evenings will be at 6:10 in the Mountain Time Zone, 7:10 locally in the Allen area. I'll just about wrap things up. Make sure to get your tickets for next week. The Grizzlies will have a 3-game series against the Atlanta Gladiators. Don't forget that the Grizzlies' final teddy bear toss will be on Saturday, December 13th. The Grizzlies had close to 5,400 teddy bears last season, and we want to see if we can make that march to maybe 6,000 teddy bears, maybe even more than that. Let's see if we can break a team record by a wide margin, as the Grizzlies really have done a good job at the teddy bear toss over the last couple of years, and we'll see if the Grizzlies can find a way. And we hope that we're really going to encourage fans over the next 10 days to really take part in one of hockey's great traditions with the teddy bear toss, and it's going to be on Saturday, December 13th, as all those teddy bears and stuffed animals are going to go to those in need during this holiday season. But Grizzlies have a few games until then, 2 more in Allen, and then obviously the Grizzlies with a 3-game set against the 12-4 Atlanta Gladiators next week, April 10th, 12th, and 13th, the Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And the Grizzlies will be back on the road the following week after the Atlanta series, as they will have a 3-game set before the holiday break, 2 games against Kansas City on December 19th and 20th, and then the game before the Christmas break is December 21st. It's the final Grizzlies regular season game at BOK Center. Then the Grizzlies' final homestand of the 2025 calendar year will be a 2-game set against the rival Idaho Steelheads. That's December 26th and 27th, Friday and Saturday nights. And that's the last 2 games the Grizzlies have scheduled all time against the Steelheads. And then Utah on New Year's Eve will have a 5:05 face-off against the Wichita Thunder to start a 6-game road trip. Well, this morning, the Grizzlies had some chances. Jack Ricketts extended his point-scoring streak to 5. Neil Shea now has a point in 9 of his last 10 games, and good to see Danny Genev back in the scoring sheet. Genev had an outstanding November where he led Utah with 7 assists, and he starts December with an assist on the Shea goal with 37 seconds left in regulation. But just it wasn't enough, as Hank Crone scored 3 goals, and David Tendek was outstanding in net, stopping 45 of 47. Well, that'll just about wrap things up. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and not necessarily the final outcome. Once again, in front of a good crowd of 6,112 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. The Utah Grizzlies got goals from Jack Ricketts and Neil Shea, but the Allen Americans get 3 goals from Hank Crone as they come away with a 3-2 victory. Utah outshot Allen 47-25. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream, and that's to someday get to the National Hockey League. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.